Welcome to Blessed and Boys, a podcast that is not quite up to date on all the intricacies of zone coverage just quite yet. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of Who Dat and one fan of Dat Win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
Our patron Saint/Cowboy this week is linebacker Robert Vinson Smith. I believe it's Vinson. Apologies, sir, if I mispronounced that. He would go by Vinson Smith in his NFL career. Smith was signed as an undrafted free agent out of East Carolina University by the Atlanta Falcons after the 1988 draft. That season, he would only play 3 games amidst an elbow injury. In 1989, he signed with the Steelers as a Plan B free agent. I believe we've talked about Plan B before. We have. Yeah. I don't remember exactly the inner workings of it, but yeah. But unfortunately, he signed with the Steelers, but unfortunately, he broke his foot in the preseason. He was placed on IR. Then in 1990, he was signed once again as a Plan B free agent, but this time by Brandon's beloved Dallas Cowboys. He would initially play special teams, but then replaced Ken Norton Jr. in the 15th game of the season against the Eagles, a performance which earned him his first career start, game MVP honors in the team's next game against the Falcons, which he recorded 11 tackles and recovered 1 fumble. 1991, Smith started 12 games for the Cowboys, missing 3 on IR due to contracting hepatitis. That's not
going to be good for business.
Tractor story.
Beep, beep, beep.
In 1992, he started 13 games, excuse me, and also started Super Bowl 28 against the Bills and contributed to the goal line stand, which stopped Buffalo inside the Cowboys' 1-yard line. Brandon, you might know this better than I.
That's Super Bowl 27, by the way, not 28.
Sorry, my apologies. I misread my Roman numerals. 27. In 1993, Dave Wanstedt, who was the Dallas defensive coordinator, becomes the Bears head coach, and he trades for Smith. And then in 93 and 94, Smith would start 13 and 12 games respectively. And then in 95, he signed a new 2-year contract with the Bears, was awarded the Ed Block Courage Award at the end of the season, and would play for the Bears through the 1996 season. Then in 1997, he signs back with the Cowboys, spends 1 season there, and in 98, he signs with the New Orleans Saints, where he would spend 2 seasons, ending the 1999 season, his final season, on IR. For his career, Smith accumulated 423 tackles, 7 fumble recoveries, and 8 sacks. Today, Smith is the owner of JPC Bail Bonds and is the football coach of Piedmont Christian High School and has held many youth camps in Iredell County.
Sure.
Apologies.
I would say I'm assuming it's Iredell, like Ireland.
Iredell.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my guess.
Apologies to our North Carolina listeners. That is in North Carolina. He is married to Maria Robinson Smith, and he has 5 children and 6 grandchildren. I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon, the Cowboys fan.
And we're your hosts. And now a message from our sponsor, Izzy.
Come on, Izzy. Wake up.
That's it. It's go time. Let's see you lift that.
Mr. Vanderbaum, please.
It's go time.
This one's for you, Pop. It's go time.
It's go time.
Ooh.
You've been married 3 times.
That's it. It's go time. It's go time.
Izzy, much like Kawhi Leonard, does not want to do advertisements.
No, he does not want to. He don't want to plant any trees either.
No, for sure. All right, so we'll get to the football, all the goodness here in a little bit. But first, a few housekeeping items. If you want to contact the show, we do have an email, into the show. We'll get to that a little later. But if you want to email us, you can do so. blessdemboys@gmail.com. BLESSDEMBOYZ@gmail.com. Our handle on X is at bless_dem_boys. You can also follow myself. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. That's PAULELLIOTT. Brandon is at Ball from Grace. We're also still on Blue Sky. If you are checking us out here on YouTube, first of all, thank you. But while you're here, just go ahead and hit that like button.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
We appreciate all the feedback. Appreciate you guys checking us out. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple. So like, share, subscribe there as well. Leave a rating and review. If you leave a rating and review, who knows? We might read it on the show if we remember to.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots, all that good stuff.
I just had another bot follow my personal account. She possesses many of the. She apparently possesses many of the qualities prized by the superficial male.
She's a full-figured gal. All right. Well, good luck with that. All right. So, like I said, we'll get to a lot of stuff to talk about here, football related. But first, we at Bless Them Boys, we do pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things.
But enough about fish. I can discuss other things, you know.
Our drops don't want they don't want to work but get paid.
No. They're not cooperating today.
Not cooperating. That's okay. Brandon, what you get up to?
It was a pretty slow. We had a busy Saturday, so it's been a slow week between like the last show, but Saturday was busy. So I'm training for a half marathon, which I'm running in about a month and a half. I've got my alarm set. It's not doesn't have the separate volumes. So I
AM PM.
Yep. Not going to hit the snooze button on this one. So I did do that. I did my training run on Saturday morning. Then got ready. We had a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese at 8:30 a.m.
Oh.
So one of my wife's like college friends, they booked their kid's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese at 8:30. Which I think I've sent you this before, but Nate Bargatze.
That's grounds for like friendship
excommunicado.
Yeah, you cut them off after that,
or
at least give them a warning.
It was actually nice. It was actually nice though, because if you schedule it for that time, you have the place to yourself. Like there's no other guests except for the party. So this is actually kind of the way to go. But
makes sense. Yeah.
I've sent you this guy's clips before, but Nate Bargatze, the comedian, he
hosted the Emmys this past Sunday. Yeah.
He did. So he has a bit about Chuck E. Cheese, and he's like they've been trying to go out of business that they can. He's like, they're calling Blockbuster. He's like, how do you get out? We want out. and then he's like, they had COVID back in '84, so you can still go there. It can't even live there. And then my favorite part is he says they serve alcohol now. They're giving these adults Bud Light at 9 a.m. They're drunk in a booth. He's like, somebody's driving these kids home. I don't see a lot of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. So anytime I think of Chuck E. Cheese, that's what I think of now.
The last birthday party we went to, I was like, wait, they serve beer now? Like,
that's the way to go. You want to get the parents in there, start serving alcohol. So we went to that, and I will say, so like while the kids were having, so they have like the tags so you can swipe to play the games, and like the kids were playing all the games. And then while they had the cake, somebody was like, hey, give your swipe cards to your parents and then they can rack up some tickets for you. So I took my kid's swipe card. I took my kid's swipe card, and they have the quarterback challenge where you're throwing it in the holes. And
Yep.
so I just like
Yep.
sat there for like 20 minutes, just like throwing balls at the 50-yard line, 50-yard pass hole. And so I did.
I did that with my kids with the basketball. With
the hot
whatever it's
shot
called.
kind of the hot
hot
shot
shot.
kind of.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
did that, and I racked up points there. And I will say, I don't know if they reset it every day, but I did walk away with the current high score at that that particular Chuck E. Cheese. So 580 yards and on a 2-minute drill.
There's a feather in your cap.
There's a feather in my cap. So we did that, and then Saturday night, my wife and I went to the Samia concert, which I talked about her album on a previous episode of the show.
Yeah.
So she's the daughter of the woman who does the voice of Peggy Hill on King of the Hill. She's also the we'll call her the third Hocus Pocus witch. You know, the other.
Yes.
I remember now. What is it? The other tenor, the three tenor. She's the other tenor, basically.
Pavarotti, Domingo, and the other guy.
And that other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
So we went and saw her, and so like the opening band was really good. Like I had never heard of them before, and so their music was like had kind of a grungy sound to it. And so I was like, oh, this is actually like pretty good. I'm gonna go. The band is called Hank Heaven, and I was like, I'm gonna go check this out. Have you ever been to a concert where you didn't really know the artist, and then you like go and you like enjoyed it, and then you go look up the actual like the recorded version of their music, and it's like completely different than what the live show sounds like?
Yeah, I've never, not that, but I've had the reverse where like you'll listen to a studio album and it's like, man, these guys are really good. And then they'll have a live album come out and you listen to the live album and it's like,
that was rough.
Yeah. What happened? But
yeah,
yeah,
this was the opposite. I was like, oh, I'm going to go check this out. And like a couple of the songs were like pretty good, but like the live show was like a lot grungier and a lot more guitar forward. And then the actual albums were more like electronic and over processed. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a letdown here. I will say Samia did a good job. The performance was good. The crowd was pretty much what I expected, which was I will call it. Are you familiar? New York Times had this thing come out about the performative male was like their that a lot of the crowd was a lot of that, and
gotcha.
It was very much. It was a
who on Seinfeld was there a performative male on Seinfeld?
Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe Banya?
No. I think of it more as like the hipster doofus is like the term I would use. The Seinfeld term I would use for this. Hipster doofus was yes.
So Kramer,
it was a hipster doofus crowd. There was a lot of that going on. There was a woman who I believe had drawn on a mustache.
Okay.
So there was that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was a very particular crowd, which I was kind of expecting. Have you ever been to before the concert we went to? Have you ever been to the burger joint? They have it's kind of like a small chain. We went there for dinner. Recommended if you're in Houston, you have a chance, check them out. They're kind of like I said, a smaller chain. But they have like a lamb burger that I had that had like a feta cheese and fresh cucumber instead of pickles. It was really good. So I would recommend that. So we did have a good night out. And then the other part of our Saturday was we went to the rock climbing gym that my wife attends, and my kids are going into Scouts of America since it's co-ed now, so it's not just Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were selling popcorn. It's really not fair. The Girl Scouts, I mean, they have the cookies. Like
right.
They've got an inherent advantage there. So we were pushing some popcorn. Managed to sell a little bit, managed to like cover one of our kids' fees. So that was our Saturday. So it was like packed full of stuff. But other than that, it's been it's been pretty slow. I've been trying to get into uh season 2 of White Lotus, and I told you um we finished White Lotus like before the last episode, I think. And so
Yeah.
um but I was telling you, I was like, so as we were watching season 1 of White Lotus,
Yep.
my wife I mentioned something about um oh now I'm like
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney. I said that's Sydney Sweeney, and my wife was like, "That's her," and I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, was like, because she knows the name, but she doesn't.
Can I just say real quick? I'm borderline jealous of your wife. Didn't know
For
who
not
Sydney Sweeney. Like she didn't know what she like that tells me that your wife is like
she's pretty unplugged.
not right, exactly. And I'm impressed by that. So
Yes, so she was not, she was aware of who Sydney Sweeney was, but she was not aware that that was who that
Right.
was.
Right.
And so I mentioned that I was like, you know, the show has Rachel Daddario and Sydney Sweeney. She's like, Sydney Sweeney was on there, and I was like, yeah, and she was like the daughter of the rich family with she was Connie Britton's daughter, and she was like, that's who that was, and she goes, well, she's not very pretty. and so I said I don't think it's the face that that people are that impressed with. And she looked at me and she was like, she was like, well, what do you mean? And I was and so I said, well, it's gotten other nice parts of her, not in so many words. And she goes, oh, because Sydney Sweeney, like in that show, she's not like not walking around in bikinis or low cut shirts. So there she goes, oh. And so
the show that season actually kind of goes out of their way to make Alexandria Daddario's character more the
right, which
whatever you want to
which
object of affection, I guess.
Yeah, what was the show with Woody Harrelson? I mean, she was
True
the
Detective.
object.
Yeah,
Yeah,
True
she was the
Detective.
object of affection in that show. Let me tell you.
So something about her and HBO shows just mixed together, I guess.
Yeah, but so I mentioned the story to you in text, and you said, so did you end up sleeping on the couch after you said this?
Exactly.
So,
I'm like,
so my wife like doesn't. So this reminded me of the time.
I almost texted you. So you need my address so you can come over. Like you need this place to crash for the night. Like what's going on?
No, so fortunately, my wife is not that type. Where there was one time where so when we were in college, we went to New Orleans together. Like it was our first long away trip during spring break. We went to New Orleans together, and we were in a hotel in the French Quarter, and so we were coming down for the day, like to go down to like explore the city. We get on the elevator, goes down a couple of floors, and this one couple gets on, and the guy is like an older guy, business suit sort of look, like no tie, but like the dress shirt, blazer suit, and then his wife or significant other, a woman accompanying him gets on, and she has a very low cut dress, and they are 3D coming at you. And so like I'm off to the side and I look over and my wife, I look over at my wife, I just turn and she's like behind them. And I look and she's like this expression, like she just saw Santa pass by. And she's like got this face as soon as they got off, she got a good look, Stanza. And so we get off and we're both like giggling like schoolgirls at this lady. And so, it was so she can laugh at it too, thankfully. Like fortunately, she's not the kind to like if I mention that Sydney Sweeney has many of the features that prized by the superficial male, she's going to understand what that means and not get mad at me, basically.
Well, that's good.
That's good. So that about does it for me. Paul, what'd you get up to? Oh, your internet's back. That's good.
Yeah, I guess we can start with that. So we're recording this on a Wednesday. Monday, for those that don't know, I work from home, And so Monday around 2:00 in the afternoon, I noticed that because we use, like everybody else, we use Teams, Microsoft Teams, and I noticed that like my Microsoft Teams is showing that I'm not connected, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So I look at my computer, I notice it says like I'm connected to my network, but it says no internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, huh, that's weird. So I go look at my router, and the light is red, and I'm like, it's odd. So I hit the reset button on the router. I do a couple things, and then I check because we have AT&T for our internet. So
So do
I
we.
check the
So do we.
app. I check the app, and it says that there's an outage, but it should be fixed by midnight. I'm like, okay, so. But AT&T, I don't know if you know this, but AT&T does offer backup internet.
Oh, I
So
was not aware of this.
it's part of your package. So like basically you have to get to it through the app. You have to turn on your cellular data and whatnot. So basically what I ended up doing was connecting to that and then using my phone as a hotspot, connected my computer, my laptop computer to my phone. And it worked okay, but like I had to get on a Teams meeting and it crapped out
Yeah,
pretty
that's
quickly.
not. It's not. It doesn't have that. It's not going to have that sort of capability, right?
Right. So then, and then I realized, oh, it's Monday. No Monday Night Football because we don't have cable. We have,
YouTube,
YouTube
TV.
TV.
Yep.
So, about 8 or 9 o'clock, just in time to see the last like couple plays of the Texans Bucks game, it comes back on.
Okay.
But
Oh, so
then
you got the good part of the game.
Yeah, basically. Like I kind of saw the end, and then it switched over to Chargers Raiders, and I dozed off pretty early, like in the game. And when I woke up, because I should mention prior to that, about 7 o'clock, the notice on the app went from should be fixed by midnight to should be fixed by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So like it backed up. So I'm like, okay, well, this is not ideal because I had, meetings and all that scheduled for yesterday. So I wake up yesterday morning about, my normal time and internet's still down. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. So I tell my boss and I'm like, I got my meetings moved. It did finally come back on like mid after. We were without it for like almost 24 hours, maybe not quite 24 hours, but yeah, so definitely. So we've talked about this before because we talked about when my water went out a couple months ago. In the hierarchy, like what you want not to happen, like power and water are pretty high up there.
Right.
Internet going out by itself is a pain, but at the end of the day, it's like you can still manage. I mean, now if you're like us and you don't have cable, makes it a little bit more.
You're
But shout out
on
to
your phone.
AT&T, at least.
You're streaming on your phone on data, basically, at that point.
Right. And AT&T did give us. So then today, to wrap the story up, we get an email from AT&T who credited our bill a whole $2.
Oh, there you go. That's a feather in
There
your
we go.
cap. That's
a
I was
feather.
just watching the start of the breakup. Was it the breakup? The one where Jerry's Jerry's
Seinfeld.
Jerry's neighbor goes into a coma. There's a part where George is like, the suicide, and so Jerry's like, well, take this trash out for me, and he's like, I'm not touching that for $2. So you got the equivalent of George taking out the trash. There you go. You could get a Drake's coffee cake with that.
We could. So our Saturday was pretty busy as well. As I mentioned at the end of last week's show, my oldest turned 13. So we had, so Saturday was pretty much like her day. Like my wife took her out. They did a couple fun things. We had
Did you go to Chuck E. Cheese?
no, we did go to Times Square Entertainment for
Oh,
those familiar with that establishment.
all the
in
way
and
to New
around.
York. That's a pretty far trip
Yeah,
for one day.
yeah, yeah. No, and what and it wasn't that bad actually. So we did some bowling Saturday night. I did get to watch. So I don't know if you've been to Times Square, but it's like they have they have the bowling alleys and they have three big TV screens, kind of equally spaced. You know,
Uh-huh.
so the one in the middle was showing the Florida LSU game, and the one by our spot was not showing. It was showing. I honestly don't remember what game it was.
It wasn't showing the A&M Notre Dame game? Because
No,
that was
actually, no.
really, I'm
It
surprised.
was yeah, yeah. And considering where we live and like the amount of Aggies that are around here, yeah,
That
it's
game,
kinda
because that
surprising.
game was on when we were having dinner. The start of that game was on. We were
Yeah.
watching that where A&M got away with quite a hold on
Yeah,
that last.
I missed it. I missed the whole. I missed all that whole game. But so we did bowling. All this to say, my daughter had a pretty good.
Did did you order a White Russian while you were bowling?
No,
Oh,
no, it did not.
I
Did
love it.
not Lebowski.
I love a good I love a good White Russian. You got
There were
you got
and
to
the
or you could order you got a good sarsaparilla.
uh,
That's a
and
good
there
one.
was nobody named Jesus at the alley. Like
No one stepped over the line. Market zero. Walter,
Donnie. That was Donnie.
you were like a child. Beat Island and Vladimir Ulyanov. I'm the walrus.
But I will say, so my my wife, I forgot how good she is at. Like she stepped up and like her first two frames are like strikes. She just
Is she throwing a like a spin ball or is she I'm still
no,
rolling
she
I'm still rolling straight guy. I
no.
can't put
I
the
mean,
spin on it.
no, I no. She's just letting it rip. So her grandmother like bowled in a league like weekly,
Like
and she
Lebowski.
would right, and she would take my wife and her brother with them. So like they're kind of like they're not. I wouldn't call them like professionals, but they're. And then I'm over here like throwing gutter balls and you know,
I love
but
bowling. Bowling's underrated. Like I actually like bowling's
it
one of the things
is.
that like I
Yeah,
wish I did more. It's fun. Like it's a fun
yeah.
activity.
Every time I do it, I'm like, I should do this more. Like,
I know.
I should go bowling more.
Yeah. The
But
I
but all
forgot.
that to say, yeah, it was good birthday. So I caught a little bit. I caught as much of college football as I could, but not a whole lot. Um, for my movie watching, Criterion Challenge still going. For the 2000s, I watched the movie Traffic. This is Steven Soderbergh film, basically about the drug war, the war on drugs, starring Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro. If you haven't seen it, I really would recommend it. It's on Netflix right now. That's how I watched it. It also has a pretty good like performance from Topher Grace as like this really despicable character. So if you like Topher Grace playing despicable characters, then
This was
check that
not.
out.
This was not a Paul Fancy Pooh Bear special here. This one was in
No, no,
English.
no. But this next one,
glad
glad you brought
I
this
brought
up,
that up.
because the next one is it's from. So the category here was Giannis or Janus contemporaries.
I say
So I don't know if-
Yanis, but so this was the. I say Yanis because that was the character in Goldeneye, like the secret.
Ah,
Am I? Was it? Am I? So it was like the KGB agent or the bad guy in Goldeneye who was Alec
Yep.
Trevelyan after he got supposedly shot in the face was
Okay.
like there was like a secret character. It's like the secret bad guy behind everything was Yanis, and it ended up being Alec Trevelyan who was 006. So
Okay.
that I always say Yanis because of Goldeneye. Great movie,
So
by the
there's
way.
a
I love Goldeneye.
yeah. So there is a film company called Yanis. They used to do home video releases. Well, one of their subsidiaries is the Criterion channel. So that's a. I don't want to try to talk any more of it because I don't know much more details. But basically, the category was uh, Yanis contemporaries, and the movie I selected from that is called The Beast. Uh, and this one is the Pooh Bear special with there were subtitles. It does go between French and English.
I was gonna say, what's the original language?
It's in French. Actually, I was trying to find it. So it's on the Criterion channel. You can watch it there. But I was looking for it on another app, and I don't remember what app it was. But I had to look it up by its French title. Like you couldn't look up the Beast. You had to look up
Le Bête.
Le Bête.
Le
Le
Bête.
Bête. Yeah. So it stars Léa Seydoux, who, if you watch, she's been in the last two Bond movies as a character. I don't remember her character that well, but
Like
you probably know
Moneypenny?
if it's
Is it like
no,
Moneypenny or like one of the
no,
not one
no,
of the,
no,
not
no,
one
no,
of the
no,
like
no.
regulars?
Yes, no, not one of the regulars. I'm trying to think what else she may have been in, but she's very good in this film. And the male lead is a guy named George McKay who was in
What was the actress's name again?
Léa Seydoux. Seydoux is the last name. Um, but yeah, she was very good in it. Actually, here, let me just give you the synopsis from IMDb. In the near future, artificial intelligence is in control of everyone's lives, and human emotions are perceived as a threat.
Oh.
So, this movie did come out in 2023. I think it came out in America in 2024, but yeah, it's really. But George McKay, who's the male lead in the movie, he was in the movie 1917, which I think I've talked about before. 1917 is a movie that takes place in one take. It's like one continuous take, and he's in that movie. George McKay is. So I would recommend that one too. It does take I will say it does take a little bit to get into. It's not just the language thing, but it's a little takes a little while to get going. But once you kind of get going up, it's good. I enjoyed it. And then from the TV or series perspective, caught up on Alien Earth after Donnie's recommendation. Also, Adam from Saints Block Party podcast. They've been talking about it. I caught up with it all the way through the penultimate episode, which aired yesterday. The finale is next week. If you like the Alien movies, I would highly recommend checking this show out. It's very, very good. Also, I would say if you like the Blade Runner movies, because there's kind of that piece to it as well. People forget that Ridley Scott directed both Alien and Blade Runner. And so there's kind of similar ideologies in this show. But and then I finished season 1 of The Wire. I definitely saw season 1 of The Wire before, but I don't remember it being this good. It's really good. Like if you like procedural, these kind of shows that are just very meticulous in how they, like, you see people be competent and you see them do their job well. The Wire is going to be your kind of show. I will also mention there's a podcast I've been listening to, kind of as a supplement, I guess, with The Wire. It's called Way Down in the Hole. It's the Ringer Podcast Network. Well, that's the name of the song at the beginning of the show.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I saw that look. So it's a Ringer podcast. It's hosted by Van Lathan, who I think I've mentioned on the show before, but it's also his co-host is Jamel Hill, who you might remember from ESPN. She was a regular on like Around the Horn and PTI.
So my tweet about I had a tweet go viral from. Do you remember the Draymond Green Jordan Poole fight?
In practice, that one
In practice, yeah, where he
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
So I was like sick, and so that fight had happened, and no one like kind of knew the backstory, and I tweeted out like one of those like a fake screenshot from The Athletic, and
Okay.
Jamel Hill actually like quote tweeted it and said like no way, like LOL, and that's how it got to like 6 million views because
Well, there you go.
because she like had quote tweeted it with hold on, I'm gonna have to let me look up the
Now,
tweet.
did she quote tweet it thinking it was real, or did she quote tweet it as like, "Hey, check this idiot
So
out"?
so at the time, like nothing was known, and so people were actually like taking it. Like there were sports podcasts. I don't remember. It wasn't like it was like one of the like either the Rich Eisen show or the Scott Van Pelt or one of the like main ESPN. Like somebody mentioned it. Like it got mentioned on multiple podcasts for this. For like as a like actual possible explanation for what had happened. And so she was actually, I think she was kind of like, is this like possible? Okay, so here's the fake report that I wrote.
Okay.
According to sources, Poole began telling teammates of his plan to use his lucrative new extension to install a pool at his house. I'll call it the Jordan Pool because it's going to be the GOAT, Poole allegedly said. Everyone can come swim in my Jordan Pool as soon as I get paid. Teammates soon tired of the joke, however, when he refused to stop telling it. When Green eventually suggested Poole find some new material, Poole said, "If you keep talking like that, you won't be allowed in my Jordan Pool." This statement then prompted Green to close his eyes and start swinging, witnesses say. That got retweeted, quote tweeted by Jamel Hill, and that's why like it ended up being like actually like because it was going pretty strong before that, but then when she retweeted it, because she had like 1 million followers on
Right.
Twitter,
Yeah.
and so like it like blew up after that. So that's that's my connection to Jamel Hill.
There you go. All right. And then episode 2 of the show Task, a new HBO miniseries, I think, starring Mark Ruffalo that I mentioned last week. The show looks pretty good. Two episodes in, so if you haven't checked it out, I'd recommend it. Again, it's kind of a procedural cop, this one's more. Go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish because I have a question about another show that I wanted to ask.
So this one's more. You see kind of both sides. You see the cop side, but then also you see the quote unquote bad guys side, which I guess you see that in The Wire too, to a certain extent. But
Breaking Bad
and Breaking Bad, yeah. So like, if you like those kind of shows, I would definitely check out Task. Now, what were you going to ask?
Have you watched The Pit?
I have not. I know it won a bunch of Emmys.
And I remember like when it was coming out, people on like shows that I listened to were like raving about it. Like it wasn't
Yep.
this wasn't a thing that like it was like everybody like caught up to later. Like I remember as it was coming out, people were like, "Oh, this is a really good show. It's really really good." So I was wondering.
Yeah, I
if you
want to say
checked it out.
I mentioned Adam from Saints Block Party podcast. I want to say he was tweeting about it too. Maybe I might be misremembering, but yeah, medical dramas like that, I'm not a huge fan of. So
the problem with a lot of medical dramas is I am very squeamish when it comes to medical stuff. Like like any
Yeah.
kind of like there were episodes of House where I like got squeamish, and so like the Pit, which is like probably going to be even more like graphic about stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it just because of the medical stuff.
Yeah. No DoorDash incidents this week. Anything else you want to talk about? Before we move on to the next topic, I just need to take a quick break.
All right.
So I'll let you.
I'm going to talk about this stupid baseball game. My stupid baseball team decided that this was the time for the starting pitching to suddenly die. So the Rangers are currently down 2-4. They started out down 2-0, had tied it up in the second inning, and then had runners on, and then couldn't get anything across. And now they are trailing Houston 4-2. So going into the series, my kind of expectation here was that whoever kind of won the series would probably be the favorite to maybe not win the AL West, because I think Seattle still got a pretty good shot at winning this. But I think that whoever won this series was probably going to be the favorite to take that final wild card spot. It looks like Texas's starting pitching has held up all season. They've had some games where the bullpens let them down or hittings let them down, but this is kind of the first time where the starting pitching has just been really bad. They come out, and what's really like disappointing about this is that like the going into the series, they had actually been playing really well. They had just swept the Brewers, who have like the best record in baseball. They had gone into New York and they'd taken 2 of 3. They had a big comeback win, come from behind win against the Mets. They also had another game which they were close to coming from behind again. They'd taken it into extra innings, and the Mets hit a walk-off 3-run homer. So they'd been playing really well going into the series, and just the Astros have their fake stadium, toy stadium with their
Fake
short porch in left field. So I was hoping for a better outcome here, because I think whoever won the series was probably going to be the favorite to take that last playoff spot. And I just don't.
Yeah.
There's not enough time, basically. Like I don't really think that anybody in the AL West is particularly good or is probably going to end up coming out of the American League in the playoffs. Like I know baseball playoffs are still like super fluky, so there's still a chance. But like I felt like whoever was the winner of this series will be the favorite to get that last playoff spot.
I should point out, top of the 6th, Royals 3, Mariners 2. So if the Mariners lose and the Astros win, I believe that would put the Astros back in the
by half a game. But they've still got Seattle also comes to Houston, and so that's
tomorrow.
Yeah. And I
will say Friday, sorry.
Yeah, and I will say that the Astros tried to choke away the game last night too. They were up 6-0, and then it got dicey late in the game, and Texas just couldn't get that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to come down to this 3-game series this weekend with Seattle, assuming the Astros hold on to this game.
Yeah.
Even if they. Yeah.
It's weird because Texas's starting pitching has been really good all year, and then like the past few games they've gotten into holes. Like Texas leads the league in games in which they've scored first, but they just haven't like scored enough early a lot of times, or they'll like leave runners stranded. And so like this is like the first kind of like against the Mets too. They've been like getting in holes early, which like hasn't been their MO all year, but it's just like a really bad time for it to happen. They just really like ran out of games for them to like. They dug themselves in too deep a hole. Right. Like they got really hot at the end, but just like there was not enough time left once they finally started hitting.
One for the Rangers, looks like they have the Marlins and the Twins at home. Their next 2 series. So if let's say the Astros sweep the Mariners, or vice versa, Mariners sweep the Astros, Rangers could potentially make up some ground on.
Right. Yeah, it's just that there's like 7 games left, so it's going to be it would be a tight squeeze. So they kind of needed to make a little bit of hay here. Are you ready? You ready to go to college?
Let's do it.
All right. So we both went 6-4 this week.
Yep.
So you are 21-9 overall. I am 16-14. You must be in like the top 200 now.
Let's see.
Because
I am ranked 156.
I am in the
my
top
rank.
like 10,000, like top 11,000, and I'm in the 90th percentile. And so like I assume you're like in the 99th percentile up there.
I'm in the 99.9 percentile, which, as I was making my picks this week, made me so this is probably going to be the week that I.
This is the week where it all falls apart.
Yeah, and it looks like based on the games we're going to be picking from here, it looks like there's this rivalry week a little bit, somewhat for some of these games. Before that, though, if you want to, is there anything from this past college football weekend you want to highlight?
I don't want to talk about Arch, except
okay,
to
good,
say
because I don't. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm the more I see of him like throwing the football, the more I think he's actually genuinely hurt. And like I don't know if it eventually gets to the point where you're like, okay, we gotta have surgery, or if it's something that like eventually he can play himself out of, like if it's that sort of injury.
Yep.
But obviously I've seen this kid throw the ball. He had some throws in Ohio State. Like he was not missing throws like this. Like he missed a guy on a wide open like post route and just like overthrew the ball. Like I'm starting, like it just feels like there's more going on than they're like telling us at this point.
Yeah, like I was like I think I said this before the season. I was just kind of not skeptical, but I was like, well, this guy's never started a college game, or if he had, it was like one or two, and I don't know. So I mean, I think he'll be okay, but yeah, hopefully he's not playing injured.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it's injured, like it makes a lot more sense for what's going on, like because of some of the throws. He's like throwing balls in the dirt. Like I've never seen. Even when he was making starts in place of Ewers last year, like he was never throwing balls in the dirt. Like something's off. There's something going on.
Something's missing.
Something's missing. All right.
I will say one of my favorite texts I got from you this weekend was about halfway through the Tennessee-Georgia game when you said it's going to be tragic when Tennessee loses this game.
But
and sure enough,
I nailed that one.
Sure enough, when Georgia kicked was it Georgia who kicked the field goal to tie it at the end, or was that Tennessee? Or there was at some point Georgia took the lead, and I'm like, I'll be damned, he's right. Like, how does he? So, but yeah, so tough loss for the Volunteers there. Although another thing you and I text,
they were all in tears.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you and I did text about this also. It looks like they won that QB swap with.
Nico. I sent you the clip of Deshaun Foster, buddy. That was a press conference for the ages. Like, a lot of people don't know about UCLA. We're in Los Angeles. It's us in USC.
well, Deshaun, it's no longer we.
No, that's a present. It's a different energy than the Denny Green. They are who we thought they were, but it is every bit as classic.
What's worse, that or Mike McDaniel's? What you sent me, the Mike McDaniel.
We'll get to we're gonna get to them.
We'll get to it. Okay, all right. We'll talk about that.
It's funny because Donnie also like tagged us in that clip, and I was like, don't worry, I've already sent that to. I've already sent that.
We're on it, man. But we appreciate it, Donnie. Keep sending us.
Absolutely.
All right, let's pick these games here. So it is Oregon State at Oregon. Civil War here. Oregon State 0-3. Oregon 3-0. Oregon land 34.5 points. I'm going to lay the points with the Ducks. What about you?
Same here. Lay the points. Quack, quack.
All right, another Another, I think we went through this last week. Is it interstate or intrastate?
We never figured it out.
We never figured it out. All right, fine. Two teams from the same state are playing each other. Purdue, shout out to Drew Brees, is visiting Notre Dame. Notre Dame, a weird schedule for them. So they played Miami the night before Labor Day, then didn't play week 2, and then played the A&M game and lost that. So they're 0-2. Purdue's coming into town. Notre Dame is laying 26.5. I'm going to take the points with the Boilermakers.
I'm going to lay the points. I just figured it out. Inside the same state is intra.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna lay the points. I'm gonna say Notre Dame gets off the schneid here. They win, they cover, they take down. I know you're going with Purdue because of your boy. You're going with you gotta stick with the breeze.
I mean, I gotta, who knows? Now this game is not interstate. This is, but it is 2 state colleges.
It is interstate.
Yeah, it is interstate. Kent, which is that's in Ohio, Kent State.
That's correct.
They're traveling down to Tallahassee to face the Florida State Seminoles. The Seminoles are laying 42.5. I'm going to go ahead and lay the points with.
I'm going to lay the points.
Seminoles.
I think Florida State kicks some Tallahassee.
Not your best work. We got a top 25 matchup here in the. This is technically an SEC conference game. Auburn.
It is. What do you mean technically? It's a. That's what it is now.
Well, I mean, it is. No, it's not. I know what you mean, but I mean, like, it's just weird. It's weird to say, like, Auburn visiting Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners are laying 6.5. Both of these teams 3-0, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lay the points with the Sooners.
I am too. Minus 6.5.
No word on what John Mateer's doing in terms of this game.
John Crazy Legs, the crazy legs of his parlays. that's what crazy legs means. John has some crazy legs on his parlay.
Another bullseye by you.
I had to make up the Tallahassee joke.
Yeah, there you go. The Tulane Green Wave, they are 3-0. They are not ranked as of yet, but maybe they will be if they pull this upset. They're going to Ole Miss to face the Rebels. Rebels are laying 11.5. I'm going to take the 11.5 with Tulane. I think I spoke about this after week 1. Their coach really won me over, John Summerall. So, I'll root for the Green Wave. I'll take.
Yeah, I was originally on Ole Miss, but I think I'm going to take Tulane too.
Okay. And Ole Miss is subject to a letdown game every once in a while, but who knows? Another SEC matchup here. South Carolina is heading to Columbia, Missouri, to face the Tigers of Missouri. The Tigers are laying 12.5. I'm going to take the 12.5. Do we know what's up with Lenora Sellers? Is he out?
I haven't seen. If Lenora Sellers is out, I'm going to take Missouri. If not, I'm going to. But right now, as of right now, I've got South Carolina plus 12.5.
Just going to look this up here real quick. This is from Greenville News. I'm taking it. This is Greenville, South Carolina. Let's see. So they have him listed as questionable on the injury report. So that's
on 3 has it as reportedly some optimism regarding Lenora Sellers.
I'll take the points.
I think so too.
Based on the percentages, like 57% are taking the points with South Carolina. So maybe somebody knows something. We don't know. All right. Another intrastate matchup. The Florida Gators coming off a loss to LSU. They're 1-2. Billy Napier, he might be joining the Deshaun Foster ranks pretty soon. They travel to Miami. They're going to play. They're going to play the U. They're going to play the U. The U is laying 7.5. I'm laying the 7.5. Sounds like you are as well. Is that in honor of Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin, baby.
There you go. There you go. Okay, another intrastate matchup. This one no longer a conference game. The Apple Cup, I believe, is what this is called.
Yep.
The Washington Huskies, 2-0, traveling to Washington State. Washington State is the home dog here. They are getting 20.5. I'm going to take the points with the Cougars.
I'm taking the 20.5.
Okay. A game near and dear to my friend's heart here. The Sam Houston Bearcats are traveling to Austin to take on the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns laying 41.5. I'm going to take the 41.5 with Sam Houston.
Yeah, I can't lay that many points with Arch throwing the ball into the ground right now.
Yeah. Maybe this is his get right game. Who knows?
I thought last week was supposed to be his get right game. He's had a lot of get right games and he hadn't gotten right. That's a problem.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy?
No.
There's a character in the movie called Can't Get Right.
That's about where we are right now.
So that might be where we are with Arch. Can't get right. Speaking of Jamel Hill, her alma mater, Michigan State, sitting at 3-0. They are traveling out to California to face the Trojans of USC. The Trojans are favored by 15.5 points with the Spartans here.
I'm going to take the 15.5. We'll be head to head on this one.
No, I'm taking the points too.
Oh, you're taking the points too? I thought you said we were laying it.
No, I'm taking the
points.
points.
You said the Spartans, and so like Spartans, and then I like my.
Oh
my
yeah,
brain
Spartans, Trojans.
Yeah.
Both these teams 3-0, by the way, and this is a Big Ten conference game. We should remind folks.
Classic Big Ten matchup.
Classic Big Ten, Michigan State versus USC here. All right. Anything else college football related you want to chat about before we get into the professionals?
Let's get into the pro slate.
All right. Let's start by doing a quick recap on week 2. Let me just say, so against the spread, so I think we're back, Brandon. I'm back, baby.
We're back.
I was 11-5 against the spread after going 5-11 week 1. You were 9-7, so you were a little more consistent. You were 9-7, 8 week 1. Confidence picks. I was 11-5, but I only got 90 points. You were 12-4, but you got 118. So
I had a good week in the confidence pool.
So for the season, you're sitting at 219. I'm sitting at 173. I'm 19-29 in the confidence picks. You are 21-11. And then let me pull up. I forgot to pull up my preseason picks here. Give me a second. So for our preseason picks, these are the games we picked game by game prior to the season. I went 11-5 for the week, 20-12 overall. I will say also, through the first 2 weeks of the season, out of the 32 teams, I have 19 correctly predicted records. So
I went 11-5 last week and 10-6 this week, so I'm 21-11 so far.
Okay. In fact, I have the entire NFC East correct in terms of record.
I should also point out we are facing the computer in this because I did have Chat GPT pick the schedule.
That's right.
Chat GPT is currently 19-13
for the season. For the season. Yeah.
So they went. So they were. So the Chat GPT was. What is this? 14. No, 18 and 8. And then they reeled off 5 straight losses and then finally got the Chargers game correct. So rough into the week 2 for them. Or for it,
and then
for the machine.
For our skins game, where we pick a team and pick wins or losses, We both had 10 points this week.
Okay.
You're still up. You're still up 23-19 for the season.
Okay.
So something to keep an eye on there. I will say we did very well on our upsets, and we both got our upsets and we both got our locks.
4-0, baby.
And then our
Cash those
survivor
tickets.
cash them up. And then our survivor pick was Bills over Jets, so we got that as well. So things are looking up over here on the on this end. And I will say I did a on Rebet. Shout out to our friends over at Rebet. I did a 3-leg teaser with the. Let me see if I can get this right. The Bills, the Lions, and the Cardinals. At a 6-point teaser with them, paid out about almost 2-1. So for the Cardinals and Lions, it basically ended up being like they just had to win pretty much.
The Cardinals tried to give that away.
They tried really hard. The Bills, the line went to I think 7.5, which they easily covered. So yeah, so we're things are looking up over here on this end. So let's get into the games. We'll just go through these relatively quickly. Thursday night kicked off. Danny Werfel presented Packers 27, Commanders 18. Packers just look like the best team in football. I mean,
yeah, they
until
were
proven otherwise.
Yeah, the Commanders really couldn't do anything. Like this score kind of flatters Washington based on what they were actually able to do in the game,
right?
Because that last touchdown was just a garbage time touchdown, and so we don't know what the situation is with Jaden Daniels' knee. It seems like it's not serious, but he's still questionable going into this week. It's just hard to. And I will also say that the Commanders have also added another 30-plus-year-old player onto the roster. The image that they have it was veteran edge rusher Preston Smith, who last time he played for the Washington franchise, it's so old that they still have the old logo on the helmet. He was a second-round pick in 2015 for the team. So they are still trying to push the age older and older, which has not worked out for them because they're now without Austin Eckler. One of their defensive players is also out for the season. Like the way this roster was built was not like I understand that you have a rookie QB. Let's try to go for it. But like the way the roster is built around them, like there's a way that this can fall apart very quickly. And it seems like they're a team that like does not have a lot of margin for error in terms of roster construction. Things can like go downhill pretty fast.
Yeah, and I think that kind of led me to that was another point in the regression column, right? Coming off of last season. I will say the Eckler injury is somewhat good for me because I have my guy Bill Merritt.
I have him on my work league right now.
So hopefully he gets to see a little more action. But we'll see. Moving on to the Sunday slate early. We'll get this out of the way. Billy Kilmer presented 49ers 26, 21. So I will say, and I've mentioned this after the Cardinals game, I said, if the Saints put this effort forth every week, I'll be happy. And I'm still there. A lot of Spencer Rattler talk this week coming out of this game. I think we have a clip of defensive coordinator Robert Saleh talking about Spencer Rattler last week in preparation for this game. If you have
I'm telling you, he's going to be a household by the end of the year. This kid's pretty good. So he's a twitchy athlete. He's got a hell of an arm. He's very decisive in his decision making as he goes through his progression, and he's accurate with the football. So they gave Arizona everything they could handle.
We should remember that, like going into college, like Rattler was a 5-star recruit. Like he was before he had to like transfer from Oklahoma I think the issue with Rattler was always more up here, like than it
Yeah.
was any of the
Yeah, for
talent.
sure.
And like I think being knocked down a little bit at Oklahoma, having to transfer and kind of the path that he took to the NFL, sort of like I think he understands a little better now what he needs to do.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I'll just mention, I mean, Salah obviously, I mean, he was with the Jets, and the Jets never had tremendous quarterback play, I'll say, but Salah's
that's putting it one that's putting it one way.
shout out to our guy Chris at this podcast making me thirsty. But Salah, I mean, he's seen good quarterback. Like he's speaking to this from a defensive coordinator's perspective, getting ready for Rattler. So I think for him to speak that way about Rattler shows that. And there's other people like I saw one of the co-hosts of the Bootleg Football podcast. One of his takeaways from the game is, the Saints might have something with Rattler. Now, they could go to Seattle this week and Rattler could look a mess, and we're back to where we started. But hey, it's encouraging signs from Rattler. The Saints still have problems on the offensive line. Their defense can't get off the field on longs. I mean, there was one sequence where the 49ers had a 2nd and 23, and they ended up converting it to a first down in 2 plays. That's not ideal.
Yeah, that's always a problem.
I mean, Mac Jones did look really good, which I wasn't really shocked by. It's like, oh, Kyle Shanahan's going to take a quarterback and make him look good.
He finally got his boy Mac Jones. That's the guy.
Yeah,
supposedly that's the guy he wanted. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they got Lance instead.
Yep,
that year. That's true. I forgot about that. But nothing the 49ers did, I would say, blew me away. I mean, McCaffrey was kind of McCaffrey, but like if I looked at the stats, and let me see if I can pull the stats up real quick. This is one of those, like, if you told me at the beginning of the game that the stats would fall this way, I'd say, oh, the Saints have a pretty good chance of winning this game. And they had opportunities for sure. Let me just pull this up real quick. Team stats. So the total plays, it was 68-67 Niners. Total yards, 344-307 Niners. The big thing for me, the Saints ran the ball for 121 yards against San Francisco, which I'll take that. And San Francisco ran for 77 total. Like,
that's pretty good.
I'll take that. I mean, again, it was more the big, and then the penalties is still an issue for the Saints. 7 penalties. I will say, I didn't mention this last week, but Kellen Moore did take the penalty thing after week 1 seriously. He did bring in refs to practice to like try to mitigate that. I mean, obviously there's still work to be done, but
did he use his timeouts in the first half this time?
He did do a better job of using his timeouts, I will say. In fact, there was one, I think San Francisco was driving late in the game and he used the timeout in the appropriate way. And I was like, oh, hey, he got it.
Hey, figured it out.
Yeah,
with a young coach and a young quarterback, you're just going to have to like just go through those growing pains. I think it's just like it's just.
I mean, but I would say it's positive. I'll say that. I think there's still maybe a little more bad than good, but it's not like way more bad than good. I think it's more like
your coach isn't talking about you have to win the games to not lose the games in the post game press conference. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign. Your guys had a exciting game.
Everyone kept talking to me like on Monday. I went to work and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, they played a really exciting game." It's like that wasn't. It was like that was fun. It's like that wasn't fun. Fun is when you win by 30. Fun is not when you're having to kick 64-yard field goals to beat the Giants over here.
To tie the Giants. So that's Chris Canty, I believe, presented
Chris
Cowboys
Canty
40, Giants 37.
Yeah, this game was uh, peel back the curtain a little. So after the Cowboys scored on the George Pickens touchdown to go up 37, or it was 34 to 30 at that point after the George Pickens touchdown. And I text everyone. So I text you during games, I text my dad, and I text Uncle Gary. Mostly that's like the people that I usually text. And I text everybody and I said, it doesn't matter. There's a minute left, or there's like too much time left. We can't cover anybody. We're gonna give up something. Sure enough, we don't know how to zone coverage. Matt Eberflus. So we've played like 0% man coverage this far in the season. And apparently we are not. We've forgotten how to communicate, how to pass off people in cover 2 or cover 4 or whatever we're running out there. Cover 3, like our defensive backs aren't like passing people off to the deep safety. They're not getting people off their routes at the line of scrimmage. Like nobody knows what they're, as Donald Trump said, they don't know they don't know what they're doing out there. So that as I also text you,
it's cover 0, but not the kind that's good.
Yeah, cover 0, but nobody's coming on the blitz is the problem.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, so the offense actually woke up. They actually once the offense was a little slow to get going, but part of that was the fact that like the defense couldn't get off the field early, and so like the offense couldn't get into a rhythm. The Giants had a 20-play drive to open the game and got 3 points out of it, and then like
so hold that for a second. So I'm watching because I have both those. I have the Saints game and I have the Cowboys game on the multi-view, and like the Saints and 49ers have each had like a possession, and then I look back over and the Giants still have the ball, and I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Did they? So I looked it up, and it's like, nope, they've had the ball this whole time.
We should also give a shout out to Mr. Hudson, who crashed out of this game pretty fast because I've never seen anybody crash out that fast because he was holding people. He tried to block somebody by hitting them in the helmet, which is a new one. He then
I saw that one. Yeah.
He also then laid on Sam Williams and twisted his arm after a play, and then had multiple false starts. And then he was mad that they took him out. Yeah, right? It's like, buddy, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's happening in the game, but you're costing us yardage.
I think I did catch. They showed Dayball on the sideline at one point, and he turned to somebody and he went like that, like get him out of there.
Get him out of there. Yeah, so they tried to get him out once and he didn't come out. And then after the drive, they finally did take him out, and then he got mad about it. So the Giants also shot themselves in the foot with defensive penalties in this. Like, so George Pickens, like he has some he had a really good receiving game here, but he also drew like 2 deep pass interference calls. And I think he also had another one in Philadelphia. So like he's been even when he's not actually catching the ball, Pickens has been like a huge weapon. But the offense finally got going. Javonte Williams had a good game. Really happy with where the run game's at. The defensive on the defensive.
I was gonna say real quick. Just take a look at the box score. I saw Dak threw the ball 52 times, which not ideal. But
I mean, you're kind of like having to drive in. Like there was a lot of like 2-minute situations going on here.
But I mean, Javonte had almost 100 yards rushing. It was like 97 or something like that. So
he had like a 30-yard touchdown run. The Cowboys can actually like stop the run. They're actually graded really highly against the run in terms of their like defensive tackles. Kenny Clark had a sack.
Was he worth the trade?
So somebody has suggested now that we trade for Trey Hendrickson, and like if you trade say you trade a second round pick for Trey Hendrickson, and then you sign him to like a 3-year extension at like $35 million a year. So then you would have Trey Hendrickson plus 2 additional first round picks, plus Kenny Clark, plus an additional $12 million in cap space. Like, that's not the worst place to be in.
It's not bad.
No, it's not
bad.
like, I mean, Micah is like a generational player, but I think you needed one generational player was not going to be enough to cover up for all of the issues on this defense is the problem here.
Right.
And so if you're like replenishing the thing, like you can make an argument for it. But
so
we should also
tell you.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was going to say we should also talk about Brandon Aubrey because that guy is something else. So he has like field goals of 64 yards or longer. He has 2. Everybody else in NFL history also has a total of 2. So, and that 64-yarder probably would have been good from 70. So,
well, when he was lining it up, I was still watching Saints Niners, but I saw it and I was like, I forget what I was watching. Actually, so that game, I actually missed the start of Chiefs Eagles because the way the multi-view was working, I thought I had it on the right channel so they would switch over, and I didn't. And I didn't realize it until like there was like 6 minutes had already passed in the first quarter of Chiefs Eagles. But anyway, when he's lining it up, I'm like, man, that looks pretty far. It looks like
he's past the logo.
Yarder.
He's past the logo.
Looks like a yarder, and sure enough, it was. I will tell you. I don't know if I told you this before. We may have talked about it when I mentioned my fantasy team. I have Malik Neighbors on my fantasy team, so I would like to thank the Cowboy defense.
Yeah, we weren't covering anybody there.
For my victory this week.
Malik Neighbors, he was like anybody was getting in.
So I had two guys go over 30 points this week. One was Malik Neighbors, the other was Roma Dunze, who was the only.
I still won, but I had Roma Dunze on the bench on a team that last week I had Emeka Egbuka on the bench. So
whatever receiver you have on the bench,
he's going to figure out I had Jamison Williams on a bench in a different league, so
there you go.
I had Brian Thomas in the starting lineup, so we'll get to him eventually. Yeah. Just to wrap it up, glad to get out of there with a win. Russell Wilson throwing the bomb, like the one play where he actually got pressure in overtime was the one play he's like, well, I guess Malik Neighbors is open somewhere, and he just threw it up, and Donovan Wilson is just sitting there waiting for it to come down.
So from the Giants' point of view, if we can turn our lens there was one part where they put Dart in the game. I guess they had a package play for him.
They ran. It wasn't just one play. They ran like 3 or 4 times. They like at one point they were running Wilson and Dart back and forth off the field for a few plays.
So somebody was talking about, I forget who was talking about this, and it's like Jackson Dart is not, and this isn't the comparison they use, but this is a comparison I'll use. Jackson Dart is not Taysom Hill. Like,
right.
If you're going to put Jackson Dart in, you need to put him in my opinion. Now, that offensive line, the way that offensive line is being holding up right now, and Russ is having to like basically run for his life.
He wasn't having to run for his life against not in this game.
But depending on who you're playing, I guess I would say, maybe you don't throw Dart out there, but I don't know.
So the plays that they ran with him in were really just like kind of option like he handed the ball off every time. Like he never really like actually took a true drop back or anything. So like he never actually dropped back or threw a pass or anything. So it was kind of really just like some gimmicky stuff for him this time.
I will say, just to put a little bow on this, Russell Wilson now leads the league in passing yards after that performance. Malik Neighbors now leads the league in receiving yards. I will also mention that number 2 in receiving yards, I also have my fantasy team. That's Jackson Smith and Jigba for the Seahawks.
I have him too.
And your boy CeeDee Lamb is third now, right in front of Puka.
Imagine how many yards CD would have if he actually like caught all those passes in the Eagles game.
I know, right? All right, so you teased this a minute ago, but Jordan Shipley, Longhorn legend, presents Bengals 31, Jaguars 27. So what's your beef with Brian Thomas Jr.? I didn't watch this game as closely
Well,
as
go catch the ball, dude. Take a hit. Bro was alligator arming like multiple passes that ended up like if he catches like one of the passes that he's like ended up alligator arming, like the Bengals win this game pretty easily. And like the other
the
thing
Jaguars. The Jaguars.
yeah,
win
the
this game.
Jaguars win this game easily. And then also the other thing that happened was the Bengals got I think a 4th down pass interference call that ended up giving them a first down on that game-winning drive. And I would also like to complain about my fellow co-host here because at one point,
and another thing.
So the Bengals are up in this, or the Jaguars are up in this game. I'm feeling pretty good about my pick that the Jags are going to start 2-0. They're on their way to winning the AFC South.
Right.
And where is it? I'm gonna have to find this.
Are you insinuating, sir, that I jinxed you?
Maybe because you sent coming up next. No, it's Brandon Aubrey.
Right.
Where is it? Come on, coming up next.
So you
coming
and
up
I
next. Why the Jags are the AFC favorite? What happens right after that? They melt out. They don't even cover the 3.5. By the way,
little peek behind the curtain. So we were throwing back and forth this idea of like the first take, Mike Greenberg coming up next. Well, yada yada. And I just
why the Jags are the AFC favorite.
Right.
And then what happened? What happened after that, Paul?
Well, they blew it. They really blew it. I did see Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen kind of have a little back and forth scuffle, not a scuffle, but like a Trevor Lawrence gave him the
difference of opinion.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence gave him the what do you know kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm still like giving, even despite the early success of the Jaguars here,
I'm telling you, man, like
we were having this conversation last year, and I thought Liam Cohen would like fix him a little bit, but like there's still some issues there.
Did I do the hot take before the season of like, are we sure Trevor Lawrence is going to be the quarterback of the Jaguars come 2026?
I mean, I wouldn't be so. Well, I think they'll. If
they just paid him.
Yeah, they
just
contract.
Paid him, so I mean,
yeah, he's going to be the quarterback because of the contract. I don't know if he necessarily is like going to prove that he deserves to be the quarterback, but
I wouldn't be surprised if like the Jags, depending on where they're drafting, if maybe they get a quarterback in like the second. Well, no, they don't have a first round pick because they traded it to the Browns for Travis Hunter. So
that's right.
So but something to keep an eye on, I think. We both, I should mention on the Niners Saints, we both hit that one. We had Niners minus 4.5. Cowboys Giants, we both had the Giants with plus 5.5. So we hit there. On this one, to your point, we both missed because we had the Jags plus 3.5 and they couldn't cover. Obviously, the big story on the Cincinnati side is Joe Burrow's out until December now.
We should also but before you go on, there's one more. I had the Packers minus 3.5. You had Commanders plus 3.5.
Yeah, so you that was we went head to head 10 games this week. That one was for you. That one you got. We'll get to another head to head here in a minute, but so in this one, Jags plus 3.5. We both missed on that one. So Burrow's out until December. I've always kind of liked Jake Browning. I've always thought he was probably your best backup option.
His numbers in this game were like, despite he threw a couple of interceptions, but I still think like overall like his success rate and those like EPA numbers were actually like pretty good in this game. Like I don't think he's going to be terrible for him.
Yeah, I think they can make it work. The idea of them trading for Jameis is still kind of funny because it's like Jameis, like Jamar Chase with Jameis. I think somebody said like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins might both break receiving records with Jameis.
It's just throwing the ball down the field every play.
just chucking it down there. But yeah, something to keep an eye on for the Bengals moving forward. I will say their defense, well, they gave up 27 in this game, but Hendrickson still looks pretty good, I'd say. Um, you know, I actually meant to mention this with the Saints. Do you know who's tied for the league lead in sacks with Miles Garrett and one other person who I can't remember? That would,
Demario Davis.
no, no. How about Carl Granderson for the Saints? Yeah,
The former
3.5 sacks.
The former Detroit Tiger.
No, that was Curtis Granderson. No relation. I don't.
No
think.
relation.
It could be. I don't know, but yes. Shout out to Carl Granderson for 3.5 sacks so far in the year. Let's move on to the blow. Andy, turn the podcast off, Andy. Just skip ahead a few minutes.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Eric, don't call me Cosmo Kramer presents Lions 52, Bears 21. I gotta be so. The funny thing about this game,
we both have the Lions minus 5.5. By the way,
yeah, we both hit on that. But the funny thing about this game, so there were 9 games in the early window. So I had my 4 games on the multi-view on the TV, and I had 4 games on the tablet. So one game, there was one odd game out, and it turned out to be this one, Lions Bears. So I started watching it on my phone, and then once it got out of hand, I just was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about this.
And this game was competitive for a little while. Like there was
It was,
and then the floodgates opened. I think.
Well, like I mentioned, like
had the catch.
Yeah,
to kind of set the Rams up in the red zone.
Yeah, well, like I mentioned, like Adunze had 30-something points in fantasy because he had like 2 touchdowns and however many catches he had. Yeah, the Lions just once it started, it didn't stop. I think I texted you. Jared Goff had as many touchdown passes as incompletions in this game, which was 5 for both. So Goff kind of back to his old tricks a little bit that we saw pre Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
I guess with Ben Johnson, I should say.
Yeah, I think I think the biggest concern here is not necessarily like the Bears offense because like so I didn't get to watch this game. I watched the highlights of it, but you couldn't really get a sense of the Bears offense because most of the highlights of this game were just the Lions doing things. So I think the big takeaway and the people that I follow were kind of like, oh, Caleb wasn't actually too bad in this game, but it was just like the Bears defense has struggled the first 2 weeks of the season, and that's I think Paul might be feeling a little smug over here.
No.
There's your smudgeness.
Smugness is not a good quality.
But yeah, it just seemed like
who knew Dennis Allen's defense would give up 50 points to a good offense.
Well, let me tell you, if there's a get right game for the Chicago offense on the other hand, this is the upcoming game is gonna be it.
Boys and girls, you might be in for another. You might be in for another shootout.
If you're betting at home, take the over. that would be on the upcoming Bears game. That would be my recommendation.
We'll have to check out that number when we get to the preview here in a little bit. All right, let's get on to Andre Johnson's former sparring partner, Cortland Finnegan, presents Rams 33, Titans 19. This game was actually close. It felt a little closer, I think, than the score would indicate.
Yeah, I think there was like this is another like last minute touchdown sort of, or like it got stretched at the end, but
yeah,
Tennessee hung in there pretty well.
Yeah, we went head to head on this one. I had the Rams minus 5.5, so I take that victory lap, I guess. Yeah, maybe the Rams are just okay. Like maybe Stafford's fine. Maybe,
it feels like Stafford will be fine until he's not. If he's not, like, I mean, maybe his back will hold up. Maybe it won't. Yeah. Cam Ward had an insane. Cam Ward has a lot of plays that are like, what if the Will Levis plays actually worked? He's
Right,
he's got, he's got it's like, what if Will Levis did this and it worked? That's a lot of what Cam Ward does right now. I don't know how much that holds up over the long haul. Like this is the Athletic Football Show, who I really like them, and like I think they do like intelligent football conversation, but I think sometimes with quarterbacks they get enamored with like the highs, and it's like look at look at what this can be, but like
Yeah.
they kind of like, oh, if he just cuts out this X% of like Cam Ward holds the ball too much, takes too many like really bad sacks, and like they never
Yeah.
like, well, if he just stopped doing this, it would be fine, but like, well, what if he doesn't stop doing that? They never kind of like they kind of like just equivocate, like they just kind of expect that these will go, the bad stuff will go
Like,
away and the good stuff will
yeah.
just stay good, and like so
Like Will Levis would be fine if he stopped throwing dumb interceptions. Well, guess
yeah,
what? He doesn't stop
exactly.
throwing dumb
That's
interceptions.
not
Yeah.
he hasn't stopped doing that, and so like this is the Cam Ward that I know is like, yeah, he's going to hold on to the ball and he's going to make some like insane plays, but he's also going to like take too many like bad negative plays where he should like just
So
get rid of it.
I just want to point out, talking about the Rams. So the Rams are 2-0, but their 2 wins are against the Texans at home and now the Titans. They will take a step up in weight class, I'd say, coming up here in week 3. We'll get to that when we get to the preview. But one thing for the Titans, too, I'll mention Elik Ayumanor, the wide receiver. Looks
Epic
like
Epic
Ward
Eye
kind of-
Manor, as we call him.
Epic Ayumanor. Looks like he and Ward have kind of a good rapport going.
Mhm.
I actually picked him up in fantasy today. I traded in my Tesla for Elik Ayumanor. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I mean, I have Adunze, Neighbors, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, so hopefully I won't need Ayumanor that much, but never know.
Good spot
All
starter.
right, moving on. Spot start him in.
I don't even like
Moving on,
Drake.
Robert Edwards.
You don't like the Drake?
I hate the Drake.
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good.
I'm just going to use that clip every time we have a Patriots game.
Well, I was like, why is he playing? Oh, that's right. It's the
Yeah,
Patriots.
it's
And shout out to our guy Donnie. So this one's presented by Robert Edwards. We were talking about Robert Edwards last week, and Donnie did chime in to remind us that not only did Robert Edwards tear a bunch of ligaments in his knee, he almost lost his leg to this leg injury at the Pro Bowl right after his rookie year. So, but he didn't. He recovered. He ended up coming back playing in the NFL for a little bit. But Robert Edwards presented Patriots 33, Dolphins 27. We went head to head here. I got this. This is my upset of the week, actually. So Patriots plus 1.5 hit for me. I didn't watch a whole ton of this game. Obviously, we got the great Mike McDaniel press conference afterwards. Tyreek Hill seems happy being in Miami.
everything is going great in Miami.
Everything's going, yeah. I mean, couldn't be better, right? I really wish we'd have put money on that McDaniel being the first coach fired.
Oh, we would have
Couldn't-
racked.
Couldn't find a book.
Let me read the quote. To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. Very, very. To win the games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. Honestly, and that is how you lose the game. Very wise words from Coach McDaniel, soon to be ex-coach McDaniel.
So I did hear Albert Breer, who writes for Sports Illustrated. He was on Rich Eisen's show, and he said the other mitigating factor in this Dolphins coaching, whatever you want to call it, Anthony Weaver, who's their defensive coordinator, is highly regarded, and a lot of people think of him as a future head coach anyway. So the chances of them just saying like, yeah, let's give Anthony a chance here.
That's enough of that.
Right. That's enough of that. Let's see what Mr. Weaver can do. Anthony Weaver actually interviewed for the Saints job, I believe, before they hired Kellen Moore. From the Patriots' point of view, I mean, this is a good win for them. This is obviously the kind of win you want to see from a young team like this coming off a disappointing loss at home week 1. So taking steps in the right direction. The Drake, I think, played pretty well, if I recall. If I could pull up his stats real quick.
So I have a funny story about this. So me and my dad have a fantasy team that we run together, and we were debating whether or not should we start Hunter Henry against the Dolphins. I was like, well, Hunter, like the Dolphins are bad, or should we start Mark Andrews against Cleveland because Cleveland's got a pretty good defense. And so we debated this, and then they ended up with like a combined total of 9 receiving yards this week. So it didn't. I was like, it didn't really matter who we started. Our tight ends suck.
So I will say for the Drake, only 23 passing attempts for the Drake this week. 19 to 23, 230, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Well, there was I think they had a return touchdown in this too. Antonio Gibson took one back.
Oh, right. They did. Yeah, you're right. They ran the ball for 122 yards as a team, the Patriots, that is. Not a lot of Travion Henderson, though. That's more Ramondre Stevenson in that.
Yeah, that's a bit concerning right now for the Travion truthers as we
the fantasy. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's a good win for the Patriots. Maybe they can keep some momentum going for the rest of the year. We'll see. The other AFC East matchup of the week, presented by Saints legend Chris Ivory. Bills 30, Jets 10. You and I were kind of both. Well, so first off, we went head to head here. I had Bills 1.5. That hit. We were both kind of worried. I know I was a little worried about a letdown for the Bills coming off that emotional Week 1 win over the Ravens.
Well, there was also the question of like the Bills' run defense wasn't very good, and you thought like maybe Justin Fields might be able to take advantage of that, along with
Brees Hall, Braylon Allen.
You thought maybe they could exploit that, and they were not able to exploit that, and Justin Fields played very poorly. Justin Fields turned back into the old Justin Fields,
and he's now out for this week. Tyrod Taylor will get the start in Tampa against the Buccaneers. Look, this was for the Bills. This was just like get in, do the job, and get out. And then with Ed Oliver not playing too, I know that kind of worried us as well. I don't know if Ed Oliver is going to be back this week or not, but yeah, it's kind of a
Blessed Boys is a big. We are pro Ed Oliver on this podcast. I would say
absolutely. After the performance, he did not get enough credit for his performance against the Ravens. I know because Henry all over, but like it wasn't Ed Oliver's. Ed Oliver was doing what he could. Yeah, he was doing what he could. I'm just going to pull up the team stats here real quick. I mean, the Jets did run for right at 100 yards, but they only passed for 54. So not ideal. The Bills, on the other hand, ran for 224 yards.
Oh, yeah. James Cook. Did you see the James Cook touchdown run? Because that was like insane work there.
Yeah. So, he had 132 by himself, James Cook. So shout out to got paid and got his
We'll find out who Aaron Glenn decides to cut this week as taking the blame for for the Jets' loss. Might have to cut a lot of people for that one.
You want to take this next one?
Yeah, Ernest Biner presents Ravens 41, Browns 17. We both had Ravens minus 12.5. Joe Flacco was no match for his old team. The Ravens took care of business, basically bounced back from that. Come from a head loss last week against Buffalo,
right?
And they give the Browns the business and walk away with a pretty easy win here.
Yeah, Lamar 19 to 29, 4 touchdowns. They only ran the Ravens only ran for 45 yards total in this game. So I don't know if that's Browns defense. The Browns, on the other hand, ran for 115.
I knew Derrick Henry actually did not have, after looking like, otherworldly against the Bills,
Yeah.
did not look so otherworldly against the Browns, but I guess the Ravens ended up not needing that.
Yeah, the Browns, Quinshon Judkins made his NFL debut, had 61 yards on the ground, 10 carries, had a 31-yarder. That Dylan Gabriel did get in the game towards the end, did throw a touchdown. So, look, for the Browns, I don't know at what point they go away from Flacco.
They pull the plug on the
Uh,
Flacco experiment.
Here's the problem. Their next 3 games are against the best 3 NFC North teams. No offense to the Bears, but they're home Packers, at Lions. Then they go to London to play the Vikings, and then when they come back, they have to go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So I don't know at what.
We'll see how good those Vikings are, because I think that's
But we
still
don't.
that's still
Now,
up in the air.
but then after that, you have Dolphins at home, at Patriots, at Jets. That feels like a more appropriate
little
time
softer schedule
to maybe throw in Dylan Gabriel again, assuming Flacco stays healthy. I mean, if you're forced to throw in Dylan Gabriel, I guess that's one thing. But yeah, the Ravens just took care of business. Ravens are probably the best 1-1 team out there right now. I haven't looked through all the 1-1 teams.
My Cowboys.
With all due in the AFC, how about that? That's 1-1 team in the AFC. With all due respect to the Patriots, Jaguars, Steelers, Raiders, but anyway. So good win for the Ravens there. Let's move on here to their AFC North brethren who took a loss here. Levon Kirkland presented Seahawks 31, Steelers 17. You were more than happy to point out that you went with the Seahawks and they won. And our friend Trang was more than happy to point out that I was the problem. That's why I tweeted the gif of Taylor Swift. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
This was also my upset pick. So I went. Not only did they cover, they also won outright.
You doubled down here. Yeah.
Thanks to Iowa legend.
Caleb Johnson. That's
Caleb
right.
Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be a little while before he sees the field again because Buddy had one job and he didn't know the rules of that job.
So when it first happened, because I did catch the end of it when this happened, I was reminded of a time when I was playing Madden back in the day, and I treated a kickoff like it was a punt.
He's just going to let him down it?
Well, yeah, in that I just let it go behind me and I just let him down it, and then I'm like, wait, why do they get the ball? Like, I don't understand.
It's an onside kick that wasn't onside.
Right, but in this, with the new rules, if the ball lands in the landing zone, the receiving team has to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they touch it, well, even if they don't touch it, I guess it's a live ball. And the ball rolled into the end zone. The Seahawk player fell on top of it, and it was a touchdown. And that ended up being, well, what was the final score? I guess they got a
31-17, but that was kind of like a turning point in the game because it had been a close game, and then Seattle got this touchdown, and then after that, I don't think Pittsburgh was really able to do anything from that point on.
Because it was 17-14 at that point. That happens with 12:46 left in the game. From there, they got a Boswell field goal, but then Kenneth Walker sealed it with a touchdown late. I have Zach Charbonnet on my fantasy team, so not good to see Kenneth Walker get the majority of the carries in this. Well, actually, no, I apologize. Zach Charbonnet actually got more carries, but Walker.
Yeah, but Kenneth Walker was a lot more efficient with his running.
Yeah, pretty good game from Sam Darnold, I'd say 22-33. He did have 2 interceptions, but 2 touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba. helped me out tremendously. My fantasy team, Cooper Kupp, had 90 yards receiving. That's good to see. I
There's a
guess
feather in
if
your
you're
cap.
if you're a Seahawks fan. For the Steelers, yeah, Rodgers. Why did Mason Rudolph get in this game? What happened there? Did
I think that
Rodgers
was
get
when
hurt?
it was. I think that. No, I think that was when it was
Oh,
pretty much decided.
when it was out of reach. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, uh, I, I think I'm going to try to say this carefully because I don't want to get Trang upset at me, but I think this is the Seahawks team that we, and by we I mean certain folks who may have picked them to win the NFC West, kind of expected. This kind of team that's going to, run the ball well. Sam Darnold does enough to win. Their defense does enough. Because, I mean, if you remember that first week against the 49ers, they had that game pretty much won, and then 49ers just lose it, they lose it at the end.
Yeah, and then Sam Darnold was had a chance to like win it, and then just dropped the ball.
Right.
Like he got hit
Right.
as he was kind of like dropping back to pass, and the ball came out.
Right. So I mean, I think the Seahawks are in a good place. I'm not totally down on the Steelers either. I mean, we'll see where this goes. I think both these teams are going to be contending, at least for playoff spots here as we head down the rest of the season.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a passer rating of 58 in this game. That's
not ideal. Yeah,
it is ideal if you pick the Steelers to kind of like fall off a cliff this year.
For you, it's ideal. Yeah, for me, not so much. All right, let's go on to the Sunday late slate. You want to take this first one?
Yeah, so the Jason Babin presents Eagles 20, Chiefs 17. Taylor Swift's fiance drops what should have been a touchdown pass. Longhorn legend Andrew Makuba with the with the interception takes it back. Not all the way, but basically that was the turning point in the game. It felt like Chiefs offense still looks like a slog. They had I mean, Mahomes, he ended up coming back and hitting the pass, but he had a wide open Thornton on a deep post late in the game that also would have like brought them back within a single possession with more time left and just overthrew the guy. The Eagles also false starting on the I think this is after this year because the Eagles are like blatantly false starting on the tush push now, and the people clipped it, and then the NFL had everyone's video taken down off of Twitter. I think this is like this feels like the last hurrah for that play because like it's one thing if they're like just shoving and like they're effective at it, letting them get away with illegal formations, which the refs like stopped the Chargers from doing in the Monday night game. And then also both guards are moving before the snap on every play. Like that's going to be like, that's the last straw there.
And if I may interject here, so the Saints in week 1 against the Cardinals ran the tush push, was successful, but it got called back for offsides for basically that same thing on the offense for that same thing.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Like if you're going to, you can't just let one team cheat like this, at this point, that's what it is. It's like the Eagles are basically like getting away with illegal plays now. Like,
by the way, speaking of Spencer Rattler, you know who Spencer Rattler has more passing yards than this season?
Well, it's definitely Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, who has thrown like 2 passes beyond 20 yards, nothing in the intermediate, and his like other passes are basically like 4 yards from the line of scrimmage. People were actually saying that this guy was a top 5 quarterback. Paul, can you believe that?
Not me.
Not on this show. On this show.
Did I say? I hope
I don't think. No, it wasn't you. There were other people in the media sphere. Nobody on this show is calling Jalen Hurts.
Coming up next. Jalen. Yeah. So Bill Simmons made this point on his podcast. The Eagles are just not fun to watch.
They're not. This isn't enjoyable.
And by the way, neither are the Chiefs right now. But that's
That's,
that's
I
what
mean,
it-
that is fair. Did you see the hot mic situation with Chris Jones and Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts?
I heard about it.
Yeah, you didn't even have 100 yards passing.
I will say, just to keep track of this, going back to Seahawks Steelers, you and I had there. You got that one because you had the Seahawks. We were head to head here, Eagles Chiefs. I had the Eagles -1.5, so I get that one. We are also head to head on this next game, presented by Brandon Stokely. Colts 29, Broncos 28, and I'm so happy to go to our email box and read a submission from our good friend Donnie, the Broncos fan. So I think we'll start with that if that's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
we
let
just
Donnie.
got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
All right.
Shout out, Blues Clues.
Okay, I was
Back
gonna
in
say,
the
is that
day.
Blues Clues? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
thought
is.
so. Yeah. All right. So here's so Donnie, subject of the email: Broncos debacle. I thought I would write in mainly to help me process a truly terrible loss by the Denver Broncos, which I'll just point out, just parenthetically here. If you just want to write in just to vent, like we're here.
Oh, we're here for it. Yeah, send in your
We're
emails.
here for it. Send in those emails. blessthenboys@gmail.com. So getting back to Donnie's email here, I could really go on about the whole fourth quarter, but let's focus on the last 4 minutes of the game in particular. Denver had the ball with just under 4 minutes left, up 28-26. We need 2 first downs to run the clock out or get a field goal to put the pressure on the Colts. J.K. Dobbins takes a handoff up the middle and picks up a first down up to the Colts' 20-yard line. But he spikes the ball and receives a delay of game penalty. Okay.
That's brutal.
Okay, no big deal. 5-yard penalty, 1st and 10 at the 25. First down, the Broncos send in an extra lineman and 3 tight ends. Only Sutton, Nix, and Dobbins are not lined up to block. Denver has 9 blockers. Dobbins gets a handoff to the right, tackled for no gain. But wait, 15-yard face mask penalty on Saints legend Adam Troutman, who clearly grabbed a D lineman's face mask. How is that possible? Not only do they get 0 push, we have to grab people. Now 1st and 25 at the 40. Nothing on first down, nothing on second down. Third down, Nix throws a screen pass that picks up 15. So back to the 25. We send another Saints legend, Will Lutz, out, and he doinks the kick off the upright. So now it's Colts ball down to just over 2 minutes left. The Broncos choose to use all the time. Go ahead.
Was Will Lutz the guy who missed the? No, that was John Carney who missed the field goal in the Jags. That wasn't Will Lutz, was it?
Will Lutz was. I don't even know if Will Lutz was born by that point. So where was I here? Colts ball down to just over 2 minutes left. The Broncos choose to use all their timeouts, I guess, to preserve time for themselves, which I guess I understand to an extent, but the Colts are not in a hurry and haven't even gotten into field goal range yet. Colts pick up a crucial first down to the Broncos' 43-yard line with under a minute to go. Then they run Jonathan Taylor up the middle 3 times in a row, actually lose 3 yards. The Colts are playing for a super long field goal. The kicker's longest is 54. This would be a 60-yard kick. They line up, kick it away. It's wide right, about 10 yards short. But wait, the Broncos are flagged for leverage as one of the D linemen very dumbly pushed down on the center. Kind of a soft call, but very dumb risk to take when this dude had very little chance of making this field goal.
That is the thing. That is the thing. There is like you don't need to put in extra effort to block here. That was the dumbness of the play there.
I will also say, usually on field goals that long, you don't really even rush anybody. You just put somebody back in case the field goal comes up short.
Right.
Then you can potentially return it, but you don't even need to do that in this situation. Anyway, 15-yard penalty. Now it's a 45-yard kick, and he nails it. just a complete ball punch. The Donks, I think that would be, the Donks will be kicking themselves in December over this one. Had a chance to be up 2 games on Kansas City. Now you have a really tough road game with the Chargers, while the Chiefs get the Giants in KC. Actually, I think that game's in New York. I
think that's right.
We'll double check that in a minute, but I'm pretty sure that game's in New York. But either way, point is made. So thank you to Donnie for that submission there. And again, if you want to write in and air your grievances about your team,
that game is in New York, and I want to say like the Colts have no business winning this game either, because like Donnie says, like they get that first down and then they're playing for the long field goal. Like that's not good clock management. Like, what are you doing here? Like, try to pick up something.
When, by the way, new favorite of the show, Danny Dimes, which
I think Indiana Jones is
Indiana Jones. Sorry, the other nickname was Danny Dollars or Danny Diamonds, if you like. I mean, he was having a pretty good game up to this point. I'm going to check his box score here. I believe he's now second.
Especially given the competition. I saw somebody was posting some like all 22 clips from the like the end zone view, and like he made some insane throws with like guys in his face. Like actually one of the things that he was not good at when he was in New York was like throwing under pressure. He had some plays where like guys were bearing down on him and he just like was letting it rip across the field. Like he actually had some passes. I want to ask, I do want to ask, and I'm curious about your opinion on this, and I'm also curious about Donnie's opinion on this, but like, are we worried about Bo Nix at this point? Because that I saw him and Sean Payton like kind of like Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. They also got into it a little bit too.
Yeah, well, and they got into it last year also. I think Peyton kind of likes that.
I was going to say Sean Payton he's done that before. Yeah. Like it's not a new thing that he's like shies away from. Like if your he kind of wants to see the fire in you. Like he's not opposed to that, right?
Yeah, no, he's not. Now him and Breeze, I don't think really got into it that much, but that was more of a Breeze was an experienced, guy by that point.
Breeze also was never like
demonstrative. Yeah.
No, he wasn't he could be emotional, but he was never like an angry, upset kind of quarterback.
Danny Dimes in this game, 21 of 34 for 316 yards with a touchdown, no interceptions.
That's pretty good against the Broncos defense that's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, we believe is pretty good. And Jonathan Taylor ran for 165 yards in this game. Had a 68-yarder at one point. So here's the thing I'll say about the Colts. I've heard a little bit this week that this year's Colts are potentially last year's Saints. Start 2-0. Their offense looks really good. And now you're going to go on a – I feel like I haven't watched every second of Colts action this season. I think that they're set up pretty well. I do think Danny Dimes has turned a corner of some kind.
Well, I also think this offensive system is set up to kind of like help quarterbacks succeed, which I think is a bigger indictment on the
Brian Daboll.
No.
Or the Anthony Richardson.
The Anthony Richardson experiment because this guy that guy was terrible.
I texted you this too as a possible topic. Who looks worse with this Danny Dimes situation, Brian Daboll or Anthony Richardson?
I came down on the Anthony Richardson side. Yeah. I mean, they at least with Daniel Jones, like the Giants had one season where they actually like were okay, like he was actually all right, and then like. They never really fixed the offensive line in New York, and that's continued to just be like a huge issue with them.
I'll also just mention like for Indianapolis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys caught passes. So like Tyler Warren had 4 catches, Alec Pierce had 4 catches, Josh Downs had 6 catches, Jonathan Taylor had 2, Michael Pittman had 4, your guy A.D. Mitchell had 2. So it looks like they have weapons. It's not just like going back to the Saints thing from last year. That was basically Olave and Shaheed the first 2 weeks,
Right.
and with a little bit of Jawan Johnson sprinkled in,
Alvin Kamara.
and Kamara.
Kamara
and
was still
yeah. But like this feels like they have the Colts really have some. I mean, again, barring injury, we both might have been wrong about the AFC South. I had the Texans, you had the Jags, so we'll see. For the Broncos, yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on the Knicks thing. All their eggs are kind of in that basket at this point. So I don't. Hopefully he can turn it around.
That was the thing. Is like he didn't look good to start the season and slowly became. And I think we kind of all just expected him to like pick up where he left off at the end of the season, whereas he's kind of reverted back to like early season Bo Nix. And like in this game, I'm pulling it up right now, he was 22 of 30 for 206 yards, so 6.9 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that's not bad. Like that was a little better, but
I mentioned this last week. I had heard someone say that it feels like Peyton's going to ask Nix to do more this year.
Right.
Last year he kind of sheltered him a little bit. This year it's more like, okay, Bo, you this is your team. You need to run this offense. So maybe it's just growing pains. Maybe so. Maybe that's all it is right now. But we'll see. He'll have another test this week against the Chargers. Last game here of the late slate presented by Eric Metcalf. We mentioned this game a little bit ago. Cardinals tried everything in their power to lose this, but they win 27-22 over the Panthers. So I missed on Cardinals minus 6.5. You got a hit on Panthers plus 6.5. So if we're worried about Bo Nix, we are borderline petrified about Bryce Young at this point, right?
Yeah, and that was the thing going into this like season, because I kind of like saw some of him in the preseason and it looked like he had reverted back to and I was like, it's like that's concerning. And he threw. Do you want to guess how many passes Bryce Young threw in this game, Paul?
It was over 40, right?
Over 40. It was over 50. He threw 55 passes.
I knew it was a big number. Not ideal. How
about
if you have,
eight of those passes that he threw were to Xavier Legette, and you want to do you know how many receiving yards Xavier Legette had on those eight targets? No, you're too high.
Oh God!
Yeah, negative 2 yards on eight targets. Yeah, which I think is like the first time that a receiver has had that few negative yards on 8 or more targets since Jamal Charles, who had like negative 6 yards in a game, which makes more sense for a running back, because a lot of times you're just catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage, right?
Right. So we should mention one silver lining, I would say, for the Panthers in this game. Tedero McMillan, 6 catches, 100 yards. I think they're just going to keep throwing Bryce out there. I mean, he did throw for 328 yards. Now, a lot of that was in comeback time. Yeah. And they did get an onside kick late after they scored to make it 27-22. So they did, and then the Cardinals just kept defensive penalty after defensive penalty to keep the Panthers drive alive on that last one.
Yeah, and it seemed like the Cardinals like went to prevent pretty early in this. So like, they kind of just like, oh hey, we're up 27-6. Let's just kind of let's just try to choke the clock out for
and then offensively, quarter. I mean, offensively, they're up 27-6 after 3 quarters. So they kind of, to your point, played not to lose. Your cousin didn't have a huge game. He did have a touchdown, but not a huge game. So both running backs in this game, not a lot to speak of. Kyler Murray only 220 yards passing. He did have an interception, 17 to 25. So that's fairly efficient, I would
He
say.
had a pretty good scramble too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did have a 30-yard run. So that accounted for the vast majority of his 32 yards total rushing. But yeah, I'm not there on the Cardinals. So here's the thing about the NFC West is like, and again, no, all due respect to our good friend Trang, I don't want her any more mad at me than she might already be. None of those teams have really shown have really proven to me like, oh yeah, that's the team. That's the NFC West team. Even the Rams, like we talked about, they beat the Texans and the Titans. The NFC West, I think, is going to come down. It's going to be a dogfight all season, I feel like. But the Cardinals, for right now, they're 2-0. I mean, every team in the NFC West is 2-0 except for the Seahawks, who are
1-1,
pretty close to it.
Yeah,
Or
and they played San Francisco in the first week.
Right. So,
all right, you want to
take?
I thought you'd want to take this as your nemesis.
Oh yeah,
here.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wade Wilson presents Falcons 22, Vikings 6. I watched a little bit of this game. So we both had the Falcons here, so we both get this one. So the J.J. McCarthy experience. First of all, it's been put on hold.
Right.
Because it's Carson Wentz time now that he has a high ankle sprain. Which
Carson, have you seen there was a tweet from the it was the first game of the season. The Carson Wentz what did he say? It's Carson Wentz like looking over like from behind is like Kevin O'Connell's there and like Carson Wentz is in the background and says, "Put me in, coach. This kid ain't got it. Let me sling that rock around. It's Carson time, baby."
The Vikings, I mean, so McCarthy in total in 8 quarters this season has played one good quarter, basically. And that was that fourth quarter against Chicago, which, looking at what Chicago's defense did against Detroit, that might not be saying a lot. So, look, if
this game was a lot of young quarterback play, basically, like from both sides, really. But Atlanta ran the ball really well in this game.
Your boy Bijan.
No, it's back to Bijan now. You didn't catch this? So apparently they talked. So Tirico and Collins were talked to him because they were saying Bijan the entire night, and so everybody like on Twitter is like, well, what's going on here? And they said they talked to him, and so apparently his mom and his grandmother call him Bijan, but they're like, well, what do you want to be called? And he's like, well, I prefer Bijan, and so so that's what he wants to be called is Bijan. And so that's he's back. We're back to the mustard situation here.
All right. Well, however you pronounce it, he had 143 yards rushing on this. Tyler Algier added 76.
Yeah, also. and a touchdown. We should add that
he stole a touchdown. He did a Jalen Hurts to him.
He did.
I mean, the thing
my
about
touchdown's
the Falcons
gone. My touchdown's gone.
The thing about the Falcons is they're like one drive away from being 2-0 against, they had Tampa dead to rights week 1, and they let them off the hook, as Dennis Green would say.
I will say, I don't think Michael Penix played his best in this, but watching him throw the ball, there's some stuff that I like from him.
Yeah.
They also, I will say they had a drive going where he hit Drake London for a long pass, and then one of the Vikings players just came out and just peanut punched the ball out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but he does a good job of he's really good at just moving in the pocket. He has a good feel for where the pressure's coming from and kind of sliding up to where he needs to be while still keeping his eyes downfield. So just a good pocket presence, which I feel like you don't get from a lot of young quarterbacks. He feels like he's really advanced in that stage. So I think there's some stuff that like Atlanta can build on from him. So
The other thing
was a positive.
I mean, listen, if you're going to run the ball for over 200 yards, your quarterback doesn't have to be like
he doesn't have to light the world on fire.
Right. The other thing, we talked about this last week in their game against Tampa because I said, they spent all this money or all these draft capital on their pass rushers. On the pass rush, it paid off this game. 6 sacks. James Pierce had half a sack. You had the kid from Clemson that they drafted, Ahoro. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they also had Saints legend David Onyemata playing the defensive tackle. Caden Ellis, another Saints legend, got in there.
They made life hard on McCarthy.
And their 2 safeties that they drafted, Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman, each had an interception. So their Falcons, like I said, they might be the best team in the NFC South. It's just that the Bucks beat them week 1. They just pulled a win out week 1. So
yeah,
I think the hierarchy in the NFC South is very clearly defined. It's Bucks and Falcons. Drop off. By the way,
big drop off.
By the way, are we sure the Saints are the worst team in the NFC South? Are they?
No, I don't think. I don't know if we're not. I'm not ready to say that they are because I'm not. I have no faith in Carolina right now. So yeah.
Now I say that. Watch.
When is that game?
It's a little while down the road, I think, but I could probably look it up. But I will be interested to see when the Saints do play Carolina, how that goes. I want to say it's right before the bye week. They play at Carolina, which was the game that got Dennis Allen fired last year at Carolina. So.
Oh yeah, because I had the Panthers money line.
You had the Panthers. Yeah, you did. You did. I remember that. So all right, so let's move on here to Monday night. Our favorite thing, a Monday night doubleheader. We'll start with DJ Swearinger presented Bucks 20, Texans 19. Was it 19?
Mm-hmm. Swag. DJ Swag.
Yeah. DJ Swag. Well, speaking of swag, Baker Mayfield was showing some swag. When
he went down on that run, I was like, "Oh, he's hurt," and then he like popped back up immediately. It was like I posted the meme from the account. It was like the call the ambulance, but not for me.
But not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. Yeah. I mean, listen. So we talked about the Eagles being tough to watch. Is Baker Mayfield the most fun quarterback to watch in the NFL right now? Like, just from a pure, like, entertainment perspective.
I mean, he's up there. I will say what's not fun to watch is CJ Stroud try to drop back to pass because that brother's got problems anytime. I don't know. Stop me if you've heard this, Paul, but I think the Texans' offensive line might actually be a problem right now.
I mean, it's bad. You sent me that stat about Nick Caley's offensive tendencies compared to Bobby Slowick from last year, and it's not good.
Yeah, so play action rate has gone from the from 16th in the league last year to the 4th lowest. Motion at the snap percentage has gone from 16th to the 2nd lowest, so 31st.
Yep.
And then the intermediate route rate for Nico Collins has gone from 45.8% in 2023, 41.3% in 2024, all the way down to 27.3%. So they are not like the whole idea of this offseason makeover was like, okay, we added like a couple of smaller pieces on the offensive line. Like we didn't do a full scale revamp like Maybe you expected us to do, but with this offensive system, and we're going to let CJ Stroud make the calls at the line this time because apparently he didn't have that freedom in the old system. Like that's going to be how we improve the blocking. That's how we improve the run game, and that's how we improve the pass blocking. None of that's been the case. Like it's actually been just as bad as the old system. So like, what are we doing here, folks?
I thought of something I was gonna. Oh, and part of the reason they traded Laramie Tunsil was apparently more of a chemistry issue. I guess they felt like he wasn't.
He was supposedly a locker room cancer, and so it was supposed to be, addition by subtraction.
Right, and the same with Kenyon Green. Well, Kenyon Green might have just been bad because the Eagles ended up cutting him.
Anytime you're an offensive lineman and the Eagles can't fix you, that probably says something about that. And that was the guy I actually wanted Dallas. That was a guy that I thought like Dallas should draft in the first round last year, and I was like, or was it last year or 2 years ago? But like whenever he came out, I was like, yeah, 2 years ago, I thought Dallas. Like I was like, I wouldn't mind if he fell to the Cowboys and the Texans took him, and he's
an Aggie, right?
Yeah, so that's a shame.
I will say from the Buccaneers side, so they're 2-0. They have the lowest plus minus of any 2-0 team. I want to say they're like +4.
+4, yeah, because they won this one by 1 and they won the Atlanta game by a field goal.
But I mean, look, they're always going to be in a game with Baker. I mean, Ibuka is. I think he had another touchdown in this game, right?
He did, and he also he had. I think he actually had another. He had a couple of close calls where he almost caught another touchdown too. He had some So Mike Evans had 11 targets. He had the next most with 7. So he's still like.
And I'll say the most underrated player maybe on this team is Bucky Irving, the running back. Now they did get some bad news coming out of this game. Kalijah Cansey's out for the season with a torn pec. Their defensive lineman, so that's not ideal. They should be getting Chris Godwin back next week, so not this upcoming game against the Jets, but next week when they play the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you add Godwin to that receiver room with Ibuka and Evans, man. You're cooking. You're cooking with
grease.
With grease at that point. So, yeah, and for the Texans. I was kind of worried about this for the Texans. Like, looking at their early schedule at Rams, home Bucks. Now they got to go to Jacksonville. If they start 0-3, man, it's
going to be trouble.
And the thing is like, what do you do? Like, you're not going to bench Stroud. You're not going to fire D'Amico. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of
there's no buttons that they have to press.
Yeah,
like right now,
it might just be a season from hell type thing. You know what I mean? Now you will get Mixon back at some point, but I don't think Nick Chubb's been too bad.
Well, there's a question about like whether you say you'll get Mixon back, but I don't even know if that's like a sure thing at this point. Like,
really?
There are questions that he might actually, like, the injury might actually be so bad that he ends up missing the entire season. Okay. And so like Nick Chubb may end up being the best back you've got for the entire season. I don't know how good you feel about that.
But I don't think Chubb's been a bad back for them. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get to watch my out for this game, so I didn't get to watch a lot of this one, and I didn't get a chance to go back and watch any of the replays, or many of the replays.
I will also put so the Texans spent 2 of their like draft picks on the Iowa State wide receivers. They had a combined 1 target in this game. Jalen Noel had 0 targets, and Jaden Higgins had 1. So,
yeah, well, it's tough. It's gonna be might be a long season here for our local Houston Texans. All right, let's finish out this week 2 here. Last game of the Monday night doubleheader, last game of the week, presented by our good friend Malcolm Richard Wood. or as we call them, Dick Wood. Chargers 20, Raiders 9. So if the Packers are the best team in the NFC, I think the Chargers, they're not the best team in the AFC, but they're top 3 or top 5, and they're not 5. And they may not even be 4.
Where did you have them finishing this year? I
had them missing the playoffs.
What did you have the record as?
I want to say I still had them like 8-9 or 9-8.
Okay, like, I had them 11-6, since I feel pretty good about that.
Here's the thing. When I first did my predictions, I had them making the playoffs, but then as the summer went on and like the Raiders hype got going,
they also lost their
they
lost their left tackle, Rashawn Slater.
Right. They lost Slater. It's like, okay, this, might not be the year for the Chargers. And I had questions about Herbert. Like I had the same Herbert questions I did about Trevor Lawrence. And he's so far has been like really good. I mean,
what I think of your projections. What I think of your questions.
Yep.
I smashed.
And then like Quentin Johnson apparently is good now. Like Lad McConkey's continuing his success from last year.
Keenan Allen turned back the clock.
And they haven't even gotten their running game going. Like Amari and Hampton really hasn't gotten going. Who was their other back?
Najee Harris. He of the
Najee Harris,
incident.
Right. So I think it's like they're just kind of winning with Herbert in the passing game right now. So once they get a running game going, this team's going to be tough to beat.
And I will say their defense kind of like made life difficult on Geno in this game too. Like it seemed like.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah,
I think I am a little worried about what the Raiders' offensive line situation is right now, because they can't get Ashton Genty's not going anywhere right now. He's someone's busting out the Trent Richardson comparisons right now. I don't think it's that bad, but like every time I see him take a handoff, like there's guys in his face before he can get anywhere. Like it's not. It feels like there's a lot that he's having to fight through. It doesn't feel like they're using Brock Bowers in the way like optimizing him right now. It feels like they don't really have a feel for what to do with him yet. And so like the offense still feels a little discombobulated, which I think like we expected Chip Kelly to just come in and like kind of have success kind of from the get-go. And it seems like they're still working some things out there.
I mean, week 1, they looked pretty good. I mean, Geno for over 300 yards.
And maybe this is more about the state of the Chargers defense than it does about the Raiders offense. So like we'll get more data as we get through the season, but like this was a tough watch. I ended up actually like seeing like the first half of this game, even though I didn't really want to, because me and my wife were trying to like plan something. And so like we ended up staying. I was like, I'm just going to go to bed after the Texans game. And then I ended up staying, and I was like, ended up seeing like the first half of this game, and the Raiders offense looked
rough.
It looked pretty rough out there. We should add. So on the early Monday night game, you had Bucks plus 2.5. I had Texans minus 2.5, which actually looked okay until that last Tampa Bay drive.
Right.
But you take that one, and then I had Chargers minus 3.5. You had Raiders plus 3.5 on this one. You also, I think that the Texans game was what cost you really big in our confidence pool, because you had Texans at like 10 points. And so that I think that really hurt you.
But the other thing I'll mention just to wrap up week 2, you and I went head to head on 10 games. I won 6 of them, and you won 4. So
that's that 2-game difference that we had this week.
There's a feather in my cap. I mentioned the Skins game. One thing another little piece of before we get into week 3, one little piece of I guess trivia I'll throw at you. There are 3 teams in the NFL this season that have yet to play a one-score game.
Okay.
Would you like to take a guess at what 3 teams play a one-score game?
The Packers?
Yep. Packers are one.
The Commanders?
Yep. Commanders are the other, or 2. One more.
The Lions.
Yep. So the Packers and the 2 teams the Packers have played have yet to play a one-score game. Because if you think about it, Commanders won big week 1, lost big to the Packers. Lions lost big to the Packers week 1, won big week 2. So the following teams have played 2 one-score games. You got the Cardinals are 2-0, the Bengals are 2-0, Cowboys are 1-1, the Broncos are 1-1, Texans are 0-2, Chiefs are 0-2, Saints are 0-2, Eagles are 2-0, 49ers 2-0, and the Bucks are 2-0. Everybody else has played exactly one score game. I just wanted to keep track of that throughout the season because, like, those teams that win a lot of one-score games, those are like when it comes to playoff time, those are the kind of the teams that we look at and say, yeah, they might be a one-and-done type thing. So I just kind of kept that as something to keep your eye on for the season. Right now, you want to keep an eye on week 3? See what,
let's get it rolling. We got the Thursday game kicking us off. We got Ryan Fitzmagic kicking us off. Dolphins will travel to Buffalo to face the Bills. Bills are laying 12.5. Paul, which way are you going here?
I am laying the points with the Bills. I am also taking the Bills in our confidence pick, and they are my 16-point game.
I have Bills minus 12.5. The Bills are my 16-point game.
So, look, until the Dolphins prove to me otherwise, there's no reason for me to.
Yeah, at this point, they're going on the road. It's a short week. The Dolphins look bad. Like, they had a close game this week, but like the Bills proved kind of that they can just if there's going to be a letdown spot like they had against the Jets this week, that they're not gonna let you down. They feel like they're prime. Like, unless something goes really screwy here, I have a hard time seeing the Dolphins walking out of there with a win.
All right, so both of our teams play in the late window on Sunday. So we'll start with the early window. Falcons at Panthers. This one brought to you by Kenyon Barner. You want to know a fun fact about Kenyon Barner, Oregon legend Kenyon Barner?
The Barner burner?
He has not 1, not 2, but 3 Super Bowl rings. He was on the 2017 Eagles. He was on the back-to-back. He was on the 2020 Bucks. And what was his other one? What was it? Was it 2018 Patriots, maybe? Yeah, that must have been it. Must have been the 2018 Patriots he got a ring for. But anyway, so fun fact about Mr. Barner. He presents Falcons and Panthers. Panthers are home. They're the home underdog. They are getting 5.5 points. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Dirty Birds. I am taking the Falcons in the confidence pick, and I'm putting them at 12.
I'm going to zag here. I'm going to take the Panthers plus the 5.5 at home.
Okay.
Okay. Just going to take the points here. I do have the Falcons in the confidence pool. I have them Falcons 11.
Okay, so we're pretty close there. Yeah, until the Panthers give me a reason, they're kind of like the Dolphins. Like, until you give me a reason to take you seriously, I won't.
Okay, so I actually like filled out this week. I went through and like took the schedule and filled out scores. So Miami Buffalo, I have it Buffalo 28, Miami 13.
Okay.
Atlanta Carolina, I have Atlanta 23, Carolina 20.
Okay. Yeah, I will say the one. I will say the Falcons are kind of due for a letdown game. I will say
It feels like it.
feels like it. All right, up next, Deshaun Kaiser, Notre Dame legend Deshaun Kaiser presents Packers Browns.
I thought Deshaun Kaiser was going to be good.
Oh yeah, a
He's
lot
one
of people did. Yeah.
he was one of those guys. Like if you watch, he was like a film guy. Like he would make passes where you're like, oh, I can see it, but
Yeah.
I don't think he just ever had it up here.
I believe someone can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe Deshaun Kaiser is the last second round pick to start a game at quarterback in the NFL. The last second round quarterback to start a game. Start a season opener. I mean,
I think Jalen Hurts is a second round pick.
okay, so he was before her, yeah. So because I remember when the Saints drafted Shuck, it was like if Shuck starts, no, but Hurts didn't start week 1 though.
Oh, like you mean like start
To
like
start
right out
to start
right,
a season,
oh,
to start week
right
1.
out of the draft. Oh, okay, no, okay. I
Right.
thought you meant like to just start a game.
No. Yeah, I phrased it that way. But no.
Okay.
Second round
Okay.
pick to start week 1. He was the last guy to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
Packers are favored here. Their Browns are getting 7.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Packers. Taking the Packers in confidence. They're my 15.
Packers
Point.
minus 7.5. Packers 15.
There you go. We're simpatico this week, which might not be good, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Texans travel to Jacksonville. This one presented by Cecil Shorts, who I actually got to meet once upon a time. Was a nice enough guy. They're traveling to Duval. Jaguars are laying 1.5. I am taking the 1.5 with the Texans. Looks like you are as well.
This is
I'm also Go ahead.
This is my backs against the wall special.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of it too. I'm taking the Texans to win in our confidence pick. I have it at 4. How about at a 4?
Texans.
Okay. Your Costanza special, huh?
The Costanza back against the wall special. That's what we'll call this game.
All right, up next, Hardy Nickerson.
Let me give you my score. So I have Green Bay 27, Cleveland 10. I actually have Houston 20, Jacksonville 21 in here, but I'm going against my own picks.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Up next, Hardy Nickerson, who you might remember mostly as a Buccaneer, but he's going to present Bengals at Vikings. Vikings are home favorite. Vikings laying 2.5. I guess the Carson Wentz factor is in play there. I'm going to take the points with the Bengals. I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm also taking the Bengals at 6 for my confidence pick.
So I had Bengals plus 2.5, and I also have Bengals, but I have Bengals at 2.
At 2, okay.
And
all right.
There's Bengals 24,
Go ahead.
Minnesota 21 here.
All right. Okay. An oldie but a goodie here. Our good friend Richard Earl Shiner. I think it's Richard Earl. But his friends just call him Dick Shiner. I'm sorry, Richard Earl Shiner Jr.
No.
But his friends call him Dick Shiner. He presents Steelers at Patriots. Patriots are laying 1.5. I'm taking the 1.5 with the Steelers. I'm also taking the Steelers. They are my of the week. 7. What do you got?
I'm taking the Patriots minus 1.5.
Okay.
And I have Patriots 4.
Patriots 4. Okay, so we are definitely head-to-head. We finally got one that we're head-to-head on. Well, I guess we were head-to-head on Falcons-Panthers in the spread.
Pittsburgh 20, New England 23.
Okay. Connor Barwin presents maybe the game of the day or the game of the early window, I would say. Rams at Eagles, both teams 2-0. Eagles at home laying 3.5. I'm taking the Eagles. I'm laying the 3.5, and then I'm taking the Eagles to win at a 10 in the confidence
Ooh.
pool. What you got?
Rams plus 3.5. Rams 6.
I thought you might go that way. I kind of did the Eagles pick just to jinx them on your behalf.
This is the team that gave the Eagles the most trouble in the playoffs last year, right? Like this was the team
Absolutely.
that actually had a chance to win the game. Philadelphia they've won their first 2 games. It hasn't looked pretty. I have a little bit more. The Rams with Devontae Adams look like they're good, and so like I'm going to gamble on them actually figuring it out this time.
I would go so far to suggest neither one of these teams have looked particularly impressive in their first 2 games. I guess the Rams, to your point, on offense looked a little better against the Titans. But yeah, this would be a fun game to watch. Up next, Saints legend Lorenzo Neal presents Jets at Buccaneers. Buccaneers laying 6.5. I'm going to lay the 6.5, and I'm taking Bucks 11 in the confidence pool.
So I have Buccaneers minus 6.5. I have the Buccaneers winning this game 24-13. And I am confidence pool. I have Buccaneers 12.
Okay, so
where did you have it?
I had it at 11.
Okay, so pretty close.
Pretty close. I will say, the Bucs have won 2 close games to start. This, maybe due for a letdown. Again, Tyrod Taylor starting for the Jets, not just the Fields this week.
Yeah, I feel like I would be willing to take the Bucs to have a letdown if they were playing someone other than the Tyrod Taylor led Jets.
Now I will say, Jets defense not terrible. I mean, I know they gave up 30 to the Bills, but
what did they do in the week before that to the Steelers?
Yeah, they gave up. That's true. They gave up 34. So maybe they aren't as good as I think. Up next here, Andre Johnson presents Texans legend. Andre Johnson presents an AFC South matchup: Colts at Titans. Titans plus 3.5. I am going Titans plus 3.5. Looks like you are also going Titans plus 3.5. And I'm going to zag here. I'm taking the Titans to win at a 3 on the conference.
Titans won.
There you go.
Are you looking at my picks, Paul?
No, I swear I'm not. This just feels right. Colts are 2-0. They're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, this feels like, especially playing in Tennessee. This feels like an upset special right here.
This definitely does. Last game of the early window: Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard and Super Bowl champion Desmond Howard. Super Bowl MVP Desmond Howard. Was he the MVP of that Super Bowl for Green Bay?
You're asking the wrong person for that.
Okay, we'll check that later. Anyway, he's presenting Raiders at Commanders. Commanders laying 2.5. We don't know if it's going to be Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota in this game yet.
He was MVP.
There you go. I'm taking Raiders plus 2.5. And I'm also taking the Raiders, and I'm going to an 8 on this one.
Ooh, bold.
This would be my bold pick of the week, I guess.
Yeah, so I've got Washington winning this game by 3, 23-20. So I'm going to take Washington minus the 2.5.
Yep.
And then I have Washington right now at an 8.
Okay, so one of us is getting 8 points, the other one's not.
Yep.
What'd you have? What was your score on the Colts Titans? What'd you have on that?
1.
No. Sorry, the
game score. I have Tennessee 20, Indianapolis 17.
Tennessee 20, Indianapolis. Okay. All right, let's get into the late window here. Heath Evans, Super Bowl champion Heath Evans, presents Saints at Seahawks. Seahawks minus 7.5. Now I find myself in a conundrum here because, as you know, I usually pick Saints as a way to not jinx them, but I also don't want to jinx our good. I don't want Trang to get mad at me, so I've decided to compromise. So I'm going to take the Saints plus 7.5, and I'm going to take the Saints to win at a 1.
There you go. So I have
Now,
this.
now let me ask you this: do you think Trang will be mad if the Saints actually win this game? Now, will she be mad at me?
Oh, she'll be furious.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, I can't win.
She'll be mad if the Seahawks lose. She'll just be mad.
She'll just
although not as bad as she gets when the Padres lose. So there's that.
Fair enough. So you're laying the 7.5 with the Seahawks, I presume.
I'm laying the 7.5. I have it Seattle 27, New Orleans 17, and I have no. I had this wrong. I misread that. So it's Seattle 23, New Orleans 17. So I have Saints plus 7.5. But I do have Seattle to win it. And I have Seattle at a 14.
Okay. Boy, this would be a big swing for me if Saints can win this one. I'm not gonna. All right, up next, Marion Barber III, the late great Marion Barber III, presents Cowboys at Bears. How are the Bears laying a 1.5 here?
Have you seen our defense, Paul?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
It is in Chicago.
I say that, and I'm laying the 1.5.
Yeah, it is in Chicago. So, like, if this was on a neutral field, it's 1.5 in Chicago. So the Cowboys are probably slightly better based on that. I'm laying the 1.5 because I have a feeling that Ben Johnson has a get right game for his offensive play calling here.
Yep.
So I took the Bears. I have the score Dallas 28, Chicago 31. So bet the over.
Okay.
And I have the Bears at 5 in the confidence pool.
At 5. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Next up, Don Bro. So I wanted to spotlight this gentleman.
Don Bro, that's the guy who emailed our show. Our bro Don.
Our bro. Close. Don Bro was born in my neck of the woods in Jennings, Louisiana. He attended college at McNeese State University, and he played for 2 teams in the NFL. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. He played for 2 teams in the AFL, the Broncos, the now Broncos, and the Chargers. So shout out to Mr. Bro. Believe he's still with us, 85 years young. Was a quarterback back in the day.
Shout out Donnie.
He presents Broncos at Chargers. Chargers laying 2.5. Looks like we're both laying the 2.5 with the Chargers.
Yep.
I'm going Chargers with a confidence of 5.
I have Chargers for 9.
Chargers for 9. Okay. What was your game score on that one?
I have it as a 3-point game. Yeah. Chargers 27, Broncos 24.
Okay. So Donnie, you're in luck. The Broncos will probably win this game.
Yep.
Last late window game, Longhorn legend Colt McCoy presents a very crucial NFC West battle. 2-2-0 teams here. Cardinals at 49ers. 49ers laying a 1.5. I'm laying the 1.5 with the 49ers, and I'm taking the 49ers at a confidence of 13.
So San Francisco 24, Arizona 21.
Okay.
So I will lay the point with the 49ers, and 49ers 10.
10. All right. All right, then we go to Sunday Night Football. Sammy Knight, another Saints legend, presents Chiefs at Giants. Giants are getting 5.5. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Chiefs, and for confidence, I'm doing Chiefs at a 14.
I'm taking the points. So I have Giants plus 5.5. I have this as Kansas City 23, New York 20. For the confidence pick, I have Chiefs 13.
13. All right. All right, and last but certainly not least, this actually should be a pretty good Monday night game.
Yeah, I like this. Haloti Nada.
Haloti Nada. Mañana I'm doing nada. Lions at Ravens. Ravens are laying 5.5. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Ravens, and I have the Ravens at a confidence of 9.
So I have Ravens at confidence of 3.
Okay.
And I have Ravens 30, Detroit 24. So I will lay the points with the Ravens.
Okay. The hook will save you on that one.
Yep. No, wait.
Right.
I did this again. Detroit 27, Baltimore 30. So I have Ravens. I do have Ravens in the confidence pool, but I have Detroit plus 5.5.
Detroit plus 5.5. Okay,
really
so
to read my own spreadsheet.
We are going head to head. Looks like from a spread perspective, we're going head to head on 6 games. So Falcons, Panthers. I have Falcons. You have Panthers. Steelers, Patriots. I have Steelers. You have Patriots. Eagles, Rams. I have Eagles. You have Rams. Raiders, Commanders. I have Raiders. You have Commanders. Chiefs, Giants. I have Chiefs. You have Giants. And then Ravens, Lions. I have Ravens. You have the Lions. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. We'll kick off tomorrow with Bills, Dolphins.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So we had 10 games that we were head to head on last week, right?
Yeah.
So you went 6-4. So in the 6 games that we were together on, that we had a consensus, we went.
Okay.
We went 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1 in games that we agreed on.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. So if you're betting the games that we have a consensus on, right now you're 5-1 for week 2. Yeah. We'll have to go back and look at how we did on week one's picks.
I got it right here. Let me see. So on games we agreed on 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. 3-4, 4-4, 4-5, 4-6. In 10 games. Oh wait, well let me do that math. Hang on. We had 11 games where we were 4-7. Week 1 on our consensus. Yeah. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, 3-5, 4-5, 4-6. Yeah, 4-7. We were 4-7.
Okay. So 5-1. So we're 9-8 now. So we're back above 500.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we're above 500. So yeah, we'll see how we do this week. Do we want to get to our upset pick?
Let's.
This is not good. Worlds are colliding. George is getting upset.
You want to go first? I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the one that we both picked on here. I'm going to take the Titans to upset the Colts here.
All right, so you're taking. Hang on 1 second. You're taking Titans over Colts.
I wrote Titans over Paul in the document. The Titans are going to.
I am not. I am not playing. No, I am not playing this week. Let me see here. I've got. So last week I did.
Oh, there's another one that I actually really like in this too.
Last week I did Patriots over Dolphins. So I think this week I'm gonna go Steelers over Patriots.
Ooh, spicy. The other one I
What's the
really
other
like.
one?
Yeah, the other one I really like for this is actually Bengals over Vikings.
Oh, nah, I'm not gonna. I was because I did take the 2.5. I did pick the Bengals to win, but I'll stick over Patriots. All right, so let's go to. So I'm going Steelers over Patriots. You're going Titans over Colts. Let's move on to our lock of the week.
Jerry, it's a lock. Kramer, you've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now.
Paul, I'll let you go first on this one.
How about this? What if I make my lock of the week Bengals over Vikings?
Ooh, you going with another upset on the lock? That is a bold move right there.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll go Packers over. No.
Yeah, I thought about that one too. I feel pretty good about that one.
I'll go 49ers over Cardinals.
Okay.
I'll do 49ers over Cardinals as my lock of the week.
So I think
What you got?
The first two games here, like the Bills and the Dolphins, are just so like they just seem so obvious. Like that Bills game just feels like cheating. So I'll go down a little. I will take the I'll take the Buccaneers here.
I thought about that one too. Buccaneers over Jets.
Yeah, Bucks over Jets. Oh, and we need a survivor pick.
We need a survivor pick. Do you want to just do? Well, we did Bills over Jets last week, so
yeah. So we can't do that this time. So we'll need to.
You want to do Packers over Browns for survivor?
Let me see. Where's my all games?
Let me ask this question real quick. Big picture question. For the survivor pick, does it have to be one that we agreed on?
I mean, we kind of talked through it. I think it's more just a pick that like team that we're like pretty certain that will win, and the only other thing is that we like can't use a team again.
Twice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so can I give you a couple candidates here? So we've already used. Okay, so we've already used the Bills and we used the
Broncos in week 1.
Broncos. Okay, so Packers are so we can't use the Bills. Packers are obviously an option.
The Packers are 15% of the picks this week.
I went 49ers, you went Bucks for your lock. So those are options.
What about the Chiefs? Chiefs over Giants?
That's what I was gonna go towards. I was gonna Chiefs, Giants. Ravens, Lions feels sticky. I don't know if
I feel like the Ravens should win that game, but they're like with that sort of offense on the other side of the ball, you never feel like super confident about it.
And the Ravens defense isn't. We saw them against the Bills, like So
do we feel like this
I would be?
There's also the Bucks.
I would be. Yeah, Bucks Jets is. This could be the week. I think Chiefs Giants is where we should go. Honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're down to 2. Like they can't like fall to 0-3. Like if they fall to 0-3, they're like basically dead.
I would think so. Yeah, I would. Yeah, so I'm good with. Let's lock that in.
All right, we'll lock in the Chiefs. Try to move to 3-0.
What's the percentage of picks on Survivor for the Chiefs?
It was about 9%, so pretty well below the other highest teams. I think the Packers were really high, so the Packers are 15%. Bills are 26%, so that's another big
So
one.
I would think in a game like this, you kind of want to save somewhat obvious choices
Yeah, you want to
for
have that.
further
So
down.
I like having the
Yeah.
Ravens in our back pocket right now. We've still got the
Packers.
49ers there. The Packers are still alive
Packers in the
for
back
us.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've still got
we
some ammunition.
Would you ever use the Eagles as a block or no?
I think there are games where I would be convinced to use it. The thing about the NFC East this year is they have a lot. The schedule's really tough, so there are, and they don't play with a lot of margin for error. Like they choke the life out of teams, but they're not going to be a team that they're not overwhelming you. Is the thing.
Right. All right, buddy. Well, I think we got all our picks in. Anything else we want to tell the fine folks before we sign off here?
No, I think we're good.
Remember, if you just want to air some grievances, our mailbox is open.
Yeah, we're happy to have it. We need to, if the Cowboys end up beating the Bears, we may get an email from Andy that we may or may not be able to read on the air.
I'm sure I'll be this is going to be a fun game because I'll get texts from you and then
You're
I'll
gonna
get
get from
messages
both sides. Yeah, well, if this goes the other way, we're gonna have to find a bleep button for the show next week. Is the other side of this?
Meanwhile, I'll be watching the Saints probably lose to the Seahawks because otherwise, then Trang's going to be yelling
pretty
at,
upset.
well,
Yeah,
yelling at me.
No one's going to be happy after this. Somebody's going to be upset after this week. So,
yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see y'all next week, and until then, happy football.
Happy football.